surprise profound. Grab a coffee, sit back. It's all going
All right,
down.
welcome everybody to the Great American Middletown podcast. Today is Wednesday, April the 22nd. 22nd. All right. As you can see, Dan is back.
I'm back.
He's back. I'm sorry I don't have my applause button, but
Should.
I know. There, I'll give you a real applause. I know everybody's been like, the ratings were tanking, man, while you're gone.
I know.
And I was like, just come on, hold on. Dan's almost back.
Can't believe you don't have an applause button.
I do have
He
one.
usually does.
I do have
But
one.
that's
I
only,
just-
he only uses it when he says something.
Oh, stop.
I could see that happening.
Stop. All right. It's on now. It's all about buttons tonight. You watch. All right. I want to welcome everybody to our show. We got a good show planned tonight. We have a great guest tonight. It's always great when we have female guests because it makes Dan and I look like, we're important because the ladies want to come sit and talk to us. Because, there's all kinds of things that ladies could be doing on Wednesday nights other than sitting with a couple old guys talking, right? So we thank you for that. We appreciate that. So for those of you who don't know her, this is Becky Ronsby from Ronsby and Johnson. She's a local realtor. She is one of the movers and shakers in town, as I like to call them. And so we'll be talking with her about, she is one of the organizers of the Children's Makers Market, which is one of our topics tonight. We're going to kind of talk about that and what it is and when it's going to happen and all that stuff. But Becky's also going to join in some of our conversations. She's kind of a handful sometimes. So, I mean, I'm just going to say.
That's made up.
Yeah, I know. But I do have, because actually I have two disclaimers tonight. So first of all, as a normal one, I want to remind everybody the Great American Middletown podcast is not associated with the city podcast. So we are not a spokesperson for the city Galt. We are not associated with them. We are not a spokesperson. The opinions of Dan and I, and especially the opinions of Becky, are not those of the city. Okay, so this is
Well,
just,
they should be.
we are just here for your entertainment and to keep you all from going to bed too early.
Although she has spoken at a couple of the
yeah.
And
City
I think
Council
I've
and
made
Planning
some good
Commission
points.
meetings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I make
Yeah.
some good points.
So with that said, because Becky is in the show, I do have one more disclaimer. So if you bear with me for a second.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only
You're
for
stupid.
mature audiences.
All right.
You're dumb.
Just to get that out of the way.
You're so dumb.
All right. So anyways, so Dan's back. Dan was in one of the Dakotas. I mean, there's two of them. I don't remember which is south.
Take a guess. You got 50-50 chance.
It was north, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, I know we've talked about this before, but what is the real difference between North and South Dakota other than the name? Like, is there geography big
They're
difference?
two
in
different states.
No, but is there
Yeah.
a big geography difference? Really?
Well, there's probably more trees in South Dakota than there is in North Dakota.
Okay.
Because they've got the Black Hills and
Oh,
stuff.
because that's where Mount Rushmore and all that is, right?
Yeah.
South
Mhm.
Dakota.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the North has more of the Badlands. I guess the Badlands runs both, but the North has more of the Badlands. They're building the Teddy Roosevelt Presidential Library is being built right now.
Yeah.
It'll be open in time for the 250th celebration, 4th of
Cool.
July and
Is
stuff.
it built out of big sticks?
No, it's built. It's
Oh.
actually, well, I'll tell you what, it's actually built out of mud. It's actually built, the way they're building it is actually being built out of like the earth and stuff because it's being built in the Badlands.
Oh,
So it's
really?
built to where you can actually walk up on the roof and there's a walking path around the roof of it.
So it's like a Hobbit village.
It's actually pretty cool.
Kelly got all excited.
It's
She's
actually
like,
really cool.
that sounds cool. That's not going to have a round door though.
It might,
No,
but
that'd
it's
be
cool. It's cool. Like the layers of the walls, they've actually brought in the mud from the area, and it actually so that it changes colors as it goes up, and it looks like the Badlands. It's reflective of the way the Badlands look. It's really neat. It's really
Interesting.
going to be neat when it gets open.
But is the weather extremely different in North Dakota versus South? I mean, I know it's probably a little colder because
yeah, probably the North probably gets more
yeah.
severe weather.
How was the
but,
weather out there? It snowed, right?
Well, let's see. On Thursday, it was 75 degrees. We sat outside on the deck.
Oh,
By
Mhm.
Friday night, it was starting to snow. By Saturday, there was 3 inches of snow. By Monday and Tuesday, it was back up to 75 degrees again.
what the heck?
So
That's
There's a lot of
bizarre.
cowboys in that country, though.
Yeah,
Ranchers.
Yeah.
they gotta be
There is.
some hard
Yeah.
dudes, man, to live up there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the population's actually exploded in the last probably 10
Can
years.
you imagine selling real estate in a state like that? Becky would be like, I thought it was only 100 acres. Yeah, but we're just going to give you 150. 50 we don't even really need. We'll just
right.
give you extra, just to sweeten the deal.
Yeah, right.
Home prices like in Bismarck. My sister lives 20 minutes north of Bismarck, but home prices in Bismarck have actually skyrocketed,
Really?
just like everywhere.
Mhm.
just like everywhere. But the
because
home
of-
prices,
because of California people and stuff.
because a
you
lot
think?
of
Yeah, they
people have
love that.
moved
North
back there,
Dakota.
and
Really?
there's so many jobs. Everybody in Bismarck's hiring. Everybody in Fargo's like.
Oh,
There's so many jobs
like
available.
what kind of jobs?
Oil.
Mhm.
Oil was
Really?
the biggie. That was the boom that started it. But then what happened is because of the oil boom, you get all of the service jobs and there's every restaurant you can
restaurants popping
imagine,
up, yeah.
every hotel you can imagine,
So
every
what's interesting though is I was having a conversation. Actually, I saw your daughter last night. I went out to grab a bite with a friend, and I saw her and her husband. But they were with some friends of theirs,
Mhm.
and she started talking about. I guess she has family or something from that's in Texas, in
Mhm.
Midland. You know
Mhm.
where they film Landman. For those of you who like the Landman show, it's filmed in like the Midland, Midland, and the other town is I'll think of it in a second. Odessa. So, anyways, they were saying that because there's so many oil jobs there's a lot of oil jobs there, right? That the rent is crazy expensive. They like way more than like Texas rent should be, right? They jack it way up because they have such a high turnover of people renting, and there's a lot of money flowing through there. So I wonder if like the places where there's a lot of jobs going on, but then like cost like the housing's like you said, the housing
yeah.
skyrockets.
but there's also small towns that you can still move to and buy a house for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. So, but the
Yeah.
problem is there's only 50 people that live in that town,
Yeah.
and you got to go an hour to get groceries or something. I mean, like there is, it's so it's so opposite sometimes, depending on what part of the state you're in, or a lot of farming, a lot of ranching, a lot of that goes on though. A lot of farming. Oh,
a lot of
sunflowers and
polar
soys.
bears. A lot of polar
Yeah, did you
bears.
see the polar bears?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Dan's
Yeah.
addicted. Dan, that's like Dan's new
I
toy
looked out
now.
the window and there was a herd of buffalo going by, and then I looked out later and there was a flock of
My
pheasants
friends
and-
are like, we're never gonna believe anything that Dan
I
ever
know.
puts on the internet now because of all his pictures. Like, what?
people
Nothing's
shouldn't.
real.
People shouldn't.
No, nothing's real.
Back when Facebook first started and stuff, you used to be able to go change your birthday.
Hmm.
You can't do it anymore. But you used to be able to
What?
change your birthday.
You can't do that?
No. Whatever your birthday is now is what your birthday is. So you might be able to change it once. But back then you could change it as often as you wanted. So every year, about 4 times a year, I would change my birthday. And about 4 times a year, the same people would wish you a happy birthday.
Oh my
No,
God.
my
Because
gosh.
people only believed what
Yeah.
the internet, Facebook says, hey, it's
So
Dan's
you're
birthday.
basically showing them like, you're showing them like how just why not, you're giving them, it's almost like a test case for
Right.
how to not to believe in the internet
Right.
because
No,
of
you
that.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
There's
no,
so much
I-
Don't
AI
believe
and
everything.
everything.
Don't believe
Oh.
everything it tells you.
Oh,
Just
it's going to get
catfish
worse
filters.
before it gets
It's already
better.
worse.
It's already so bad
Yeah.
right now. I mean, I literally had a conversation with a friend the other day that said, this deep fake videos that you make that look so real, you could literally deep fake like the president on there saying like, we've just had a nuclear attack here in DC and we're going to go on martial law, whatever. And you would create pandemonium because
right.
the video people would be like, they're like, is that real or is that not real? And because people couldn't figure out if it was real or not, they'd be like trying to reference the other news stories to see. And I think some people would fall for it.
It's already happening though. All that
Right.
kind of stuff's already happening.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen the memes?
Oh
But,
yeah.
as a realtor, you guys use AI to
We
stage
do.
homes.
Every day. I mean, not every day, but yes.
I
we do.
have seen
We
that.
try not to, but-
So let me ask you that. That's a great that's a great question. So in the old days, I mean, I know people that say that they actually will go in and stage a home for somebody to help it
Mhm.
sell, right? But you don't really have to do that anymore. You could virtually stage it, correct? But you'd have to
Well-
have a blank. You'd have to be a blank house, and then
No, they can take the stuff out.
oh
They
my
can
God, isn't that
stage over the top of
crazy?
it. The problem with that is you can do that to attract people. As soon as they walk in there, though, the house is empty and it doesn't look the same. So
No.
it doesn't have the same
No.
luster.
You're correct. I mean,
Mhm.
you don't want to make the. I think for me, I would almost like I saw a listing for a house today. I'm not going to say who listed it, whatever, but I looked at it and I was like, it didn't have a price. It didn't have any information at all. I'm like, and it's all here. Check out the video. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me any information about it. But it's like almost like maybe sometimes it's like just give somebody like a sneak peek, but not a full like crazy badass fly through video like everybody does, so that they'll come out and when they walk up, they get that wow factor when they see it and then they want it. Because I think if it's the opposite, if you do a great video with AI, and I've seen some great real estate videos, right? And then people show up, is that going to match up to the level of expectation that they have?
Well, we don't alter the pictures. They just are done professionally. So they look
Right.
really good. But if you do too much AI, people are turning away
Right.
from that because nobody knows
Right.
what to believe.
Yeah. But
So-
what I'm saying is like I can have somebody come and take professional photographs of a car that I'm going to sell, make them
Mhm.
look really not make the car a different color and not change the cars, but just take a really good eye for angles and stuff, right? And then
Yeah.
they come see it, and it's just sitting in my driveway. It's just like,
It's all
it doesn't
scratched
look.
up.
It doesn't look. It doesn't have that.
But you don't put the price in there because it changes. What if the price changes and then you got to redo the video? And you don't put the price in there because you want them to ask you what's the price.
That's true. But on this particular one, it didn't say anything about the house at all. It had a YouTube video, which I did click on to watch, but it didn't say how big the house was, how many rooms, bedroom, or nothing. All it did was just have a video of like a walk around the property. And I was like,
Yeah.
like, is it 10 acres? Is it 20 acres? Because it was in the country. I just
Mhm.
didn't know how many acres it was.
Have you seen the movie they're getting ready to put out in Hollywood that uses Val Kilmer, AI Val Kilmer?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's
I heard-
that's a big controversy type thing.
Oh
because,
no, it is.
you know,
It
I mean,
is.
as an actor,
it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
you know, I
Mhm.
mean,
Well, because there's a lot of actors now that are already like, basically because of that Deep Seek, which is the Chinese. That's the one that's making all these little fake little 5-second movies that has like, Tom Cruise fighting Brad Pitt, and it looks like totally real,
Seriously
right?
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're these actors are like going to like try to copyright their images, and then there's going to be a lot of lawsuits over that, right? But AI has gotten so good that couldn't you seriously though just make a movie and be like, why pay Tom Cruise $10 million? We're just going to make this really good looking actor who doesn't really exist, and he's going to be the star, and we'll save ourselves a ton of money.
Mhm.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
coming.
sure it is.
Yeah.
but for all the good, there are good things with AI, and so for all the good, there's also the bad. It's just like anything in life. This can be good. This can be bad. I mean, fentanyl technically is a good
Mhm.
drug in a hospital when it's used properly,
Right.
right?
Seriously.
But on the street, obviously, it's terrible. So everything has its good and bad. It just depends on how it's
Yeah.
controlled or how it's used.
Yeah, I don't know. I can go all day about the AI stuff, but that's a whole different topic for another day because I nerd out on watching tons of video and research on that. But we're gonna share some stuff. We got a picture from Dan from North Dakota. We're gonna share
Yep. I
of
went
him
back to see
and
Dad.
his pops.
Yeah, he's
So-
doing well. He's doing
So
well.
there's
Oh,
Dan's
that's
dad.
cool.
He's pretty still though, right?
He's thin, but he's put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
he he had some health issues this last year and stuff, and so he moved back to North Dakota, and he's living with my sister Debbie. And I tell everybody that he's in the absolute very best place he could be. If he's watching, hi Dad, hi Debbie, hi Hazel, my great niece. But
How you
he's in
doing?
the very
Hey,
best
we
place
miss
he
you.
could
We
be
miss you.
because
We miss you at the poker games, Harry.
he's actually like gotten not better. He's not going to get healthy or anything, but he's doing well.
Yeah, he's not
He's doing
declining.
well.
He's not.
No, yeah.
He's not declining.
He,
He's-
every morning he eats 3 eggs and half a pancake with extra syrup. That's
I like it.
yeah. That's
so
what he likes.
so Dan's dad is a huge baseball person. He's the kind of baseball person that you could be like, he can tell you like what World Series and what year and who was the pitcher
Yeah.
and like that kind of
That's
stuff.
crazy.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
we watched
yeah.
a lot of baseball while I was back there.
Hey,
Yeah.
the Dodgers. What happened with the Dodgers last night, Dan?
It's early.
No,
It's in the
Dan.
season.
Dan,
He-
what
yeah,
happened with
see, typical Giants fan. You talk
I-
early in the season.
I'm just gonna
Hey,
say.
all I
I'm
gotta
just
say is
gonna
back-to-back World
say,
Series champions. Back-to-back World Series champions. Probably gonna three-peat this year.
back
so-
to back, big,
you know, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. But
No
no,
one
Dad's
ca-
doing well. Dad's
No one,
doing
no one
well,
cares
and
about
my
the
sister-
Dodgers. And
my
all of
sister
you that
takes
are
care of
watching
them,
are
so.
Dodgers fans. I'm sorry to insult you, but really, nobody does care about the Dodgers. The only people care is because they're from LA. So if you're from LA, I get it. You're a Dodgers fan. If you live up
Yeah.
here and you're a Dodgers fan, you have a mental disability. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Dad enjoyed the game last night. Otani's pitching tonight. He probably won't enjoy the
Okay,
game
so
as
let
much
me
tonight.
let me ask you, who's your dad's favorite team?
Giants.
Thank you. Good job, Harry. See, what happened to
He-
your son? Did you drop him
he-
on his head when he was little? Or something happened?
He could tell you about when they used to play at Seal Stadium. He could tell you who the starting lineup was when they came to California. He could tell you it's the wealth of knowledge he has about baseball,
Yep.
particularly the Giants, is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Well, I was happy to see that but because it's early yet though, guys. That that game it didn't mean anything, right? It's still early, so we'll see.
It is. We'll talk to me in October.
All right. So what's going on around? Wait. So besides the, I guess we did talk about something a little bit. What else is going on in the big world of news? Anything you see on the news lately that outside of golf that's something worthy of bringing up?
I don't really
Is something
watch the
crazy?
news.
No. Good for you. It's kind of depressing sometimes.
I don't believe it, so I don't watch it.
I mean,
what
it
about
is
all the floods yesterday?
My
I
pasture
flew
was
home last
flooded.
night and I heard everything was flooded around this place.
no, not that I know
Oh,
of.
yeah, people
You-
talking about their homes, water pouring in from their roof.
Who said that?
I saw a few posts about that.
Oh no, I haven't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you
I
see
think
my post on Instagram where my whole pasture was flooded? But it was such a pretty picture because the sun, or not the sun, the moon was reflecting.
Well, it's just
off
because
it.
we got a lot of rain all at once, but it
Yeah.
probably soaked in like fairly quickly.
Oh, my
though.
basement at my office has 2 inches of water in it.
See?
Oh, well, that's
But
lovely.
it's because the sump pump stopped working at some point. So I already have the plumber
Those
on it.
Damn sump
Got to get a new
pumps.
pump.
Damn sump pumps.
But thank goodness it's not going to rain for the next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare to have a building in town that has a basement.
It's
I
so
think.
crazy. I have a
right?
full basement. Yeah.
You
Full
don't see
basement.
that, really.
You should
Huh.
visit it sometime.
That's
It's
See, now
pretty
that,
cool.
that where you're at, that used to be a house.
Yeah. A
at one
house.
time, and I'm
Mhm.
wondering who. Like, I wonder what. Do you know what year it was built?
I think it was 1938.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
wonder,
Super cool.
I wonder when the last time that it was actually a house. That actually somebody lived there as it
Oh,
before
Well,
it was turning into
everybody
business.
in town has got their hair done there
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
like
Used to be
forever.
headquarters
And
for hair.
so
Used to
it
be
was
headquarters.
before
It's
that.
the old headquarters
Yeah.
building right next to Dry Creek Liquor right there on
Yeah.
C Street,
It's now
Maya's
black.
building.
across the street
Yeah,
from
Maya.
like
Mhm.
Don's Dandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pink house. Yeah. Everybody does the pink.
I know. Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows the pink, but it's not
Mhm.
pink anymore though.
No, it's black.
But it was pink forever. Yeah.
know.
Forever and ever and ever.
Just had to be switched. Not that I didn't like the pink. It was super cool.
Yeah.
But
Easy to
Um,
find.
mhm.
So what's going on in Galt? We're going to share some flyers and some events. Before I do that, though, I do want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors, Galt Chamber of Commerce, of course. Thank you to Chamber of Commerce providing us this great studio and giving us a very appropriate, reasonable price on this and supporting our show. We thank you. Velvet Grill and Creamery. If you're looking for a good breakfast, lunch, or dinner, mom and pop type diner right there on 4th Street. We got Chandler Gross Group. We got Nicole Gross, actually, and her team at Chandler Gross Group, local real estate. If you're looking to sell in your home, you can look up her. Frontier Performance Lubricants. If you have a farm, ranch, something, looking for different types of oil, they specialize in all kinds of. It's crazy. If you are into mechanical stuff, check out Frontier Performance Lubricants on their webpage. It's crazy the stuff they make. They'll actually make custom stuff, like custom things for certain. Like if you say, well, I have a piece of equipment that I use like in such and such high temperature, but I need a whatever. They can make you like a custom blend more or less. I was like, really? Like, I don't know. It's kind of fascinating.
Mhm.
But anyways, River Rock Brewery. So you're looking for a cold beer, River Rock Brewery on North Lincoln Way down by the hotel. Parker Realty, of course. Local realty agent. Thank you for your support. Casey Boyd Insurance, same building as us on 417 C Street. Casey does auto and home insurance. NorCal Spreading. Shout out to our friend Nelson Matos and his family. Azevedo Quality Harvesting. Shout out to Bert and his another family ag business, and Mr. Sean Farrell for supporting our show. Thank you guys. Appreciate all your support. So we have a lot of stuff coming up this week in Galt, and we're going to share. The first one is the cow plot bingo. So Becky, you're actually involved in this. So this is going to be at your place. The Chamber of Commerce, mainly it's a Chamber of Commerce event, but you are involved in this, and it's going to be at your place this Saturday. It'll be like the place to be Saturday night.
Yeah, if you're cool, you're going to be there.
If
It's
you're
a
cool,
chamber
yeah.
sponsored event. It's a fundraiser for the chamber. So it's going to be in the parking lot. Well, it's going to be in the parking lot and our backyard. We're going
Mhm.
to have spaces like a football pool,
Yep.
where you bet on the squares. We're going to paint them in the parking lot. And the cow, we're going to put him in that,
Mhm.
fenced in area. And he's going to pick somebody that he wants to relieve himself on as far as the square, not a person. So wherever
So is this why you invited politicians like myself? Is that why?
yes, we
It's
would like
starting
you to
I'm starting to put two and
help
two
with
together.
the cleanup. No.
Yeah.
There's a cool story about this. Casey Boyd, with one of your sponsors,
Mhm.
actually won this event when it was at Galt High School, and she won $10,000.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and so she told a cool story about that. It's
That sounds like a
been
bunch
done.
of shit to me. I don't know.
You're dumb. So the
Sorry
cow.
about
The cow poops on a square, and whoever bought that square wins the money. So you
Right.
can win up to $4,000 if you are in
Wow.
the $100 ticket, and we sell them all out. If you buy a $50 ticket, you can win up to $2,000 if we sell out all the squares. So we're going to have
If you
judges.
sell 'em out.
I'm not going to have.
Is there
nothing to
any squares left?
Yeah, there is, and we need to sell them so we can have a better.
But a lot of
pool.
people, I know I got one. So there's still
Mhm.
some. There's
I
still.
made you buy one.
You need not be
I
present.
know she twists.
You didn't really want
You
to.
need not be
Yeah,
present to win.
Okay, so if you buy the ticket, you have to pick a square. So you don't have to be there to win, right? But somebody else will pick your square. You have to pick a square that night once you get there. And if you want somebody else to do it,
Oh,
you can
really?
do that.
Oh,
Mhm.
so I have to show up and pick the square
Yeah.
one.
Try be social once in a while. Quit hanging out at Taco Tuesday and come to an event.
Oh,
So-
really? Okay.
When I was in junior high school, when the old middle school was still where the Save Barn is now, we had a fundraiser for a trip to Washington, D.C., and that was one of the things.
Mhm.
And I actually have a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, wasn't it
of-
fun?
Yeah, it was.
We
yeah.
used to do it at Herald Days, and it was such a great event. And you sell out, and it's super cool, and everybody's staring, waiting for the cow to poop. We have 2 rounds, and they're the cutest little Highland cows. Whereas one's
I
a
love
mini and
Sean
one's
getting
a full.
roasted. Oh, it's on. Like, oh, it is.
Oh, he ain't
on.
saying nothing
It's
yet, but I'm
on.
trying to not
It's
embarrass him on his own
You
show.
hope you hope that the cow doesn't have bladder shy.
Diarrhea? Oh.
Shy,
I was just going to
you know,
ask
yeah.
that.
Oh,
What
yeah.
all
happens
the
if they
people
just kind of
watching
like
it,
dribble
waiting for it
across?
to.
What if it dribbles across a couple squares? How do you?
Well, if it has diarrhea, that will happen. But if it's just going to go to the bathroom, it's going to land somewhere.
What if it lands like right on one of the like in the middle of the 2 squares and is kind of what? I mean, do you get there and like measure and stuff? I mean,
We're going to have judges, and they're going to pick who they think that it pooped on the
Oh.
biggest part of the square.
I gotta find
Are
out.
we-
I gotta find out who these
is
judges
I'm
the-
not
are.
a judge.
Is the cow? Is it going to look actually like the
It
one?
looks like that. But the baby one or the mini one's white, and then I think the big one is that.
It's going to be a Highland cow.
Stephanie Bork that works for me. She's an agent.
We're gonna
has
have a
that as
real.
a
It's going to be a
business.
real Highland cow. So if
Nice.
anything else, people need to show up
and take pictures.
just to see the little Highland cow do his duty.
Mhm.
I mean, what's pretty? It's like it's only it reminds me. This is funny.
Oh, God.
It almost reminds me of like people with babies. Oh, look at it! Look at he went potty in his diaper. Look, it's so cute. It's like what's so cute? It's nothing cute about that.
I know, and they are such cute. Everybody loves those cows, and one's a mini.
Oh my god!
But,
I'm not gonna
But
lie.
the other
It's
thing
gonna
too,
be
you're making an event of it. There's going to be music, food.
There's going to be
Events for
Adam
kids.
Mayseal is going to be our DJ. We have 2
Adam Mayfield. Who's that?
Mayseal. He's a firefighter actually, but he does that kind of on the side. He'll
Oh,
be-
Adam. Yeah,
Yeah, you know Adam?
Yeah.
So he's going to be the DJ, so it's going to be fun. And then 2 food trucks, and then the cow plot bingo, and Papa's and Wings is going to have the bar there.
Oh, nice.
Plenty of reasons to hang out.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, sweet. Who are the judges? I need to pay
And-
someone up.
I don't know.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Matt. Who are the judges? We need to put some 20s in somebody's pocket
Yeah.
or something.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of money, so we hope
Yeah.
to sell out so that we can have that big pot. So
you know how us politicians are. We're so crooked.
totally, I can say yes to that.
Yeah.
But we do need to sell the tickets, so you can get them from me. I have 10 at my office, or you go to the chamber and there's a link to buy them
And it's a fundraiser for the chamber.
for the
That's what
chamber.
People have to understand. It's not a.
So if you want to
you're
get
not
on,
trying to make money for
No,
your-
we're not
it's-
making. No, it's a
and you guys are
fundraiser
gonna
for the
you guys are gonna
chamber.
have food there and drinks and
poop
and poop.
and music.
Yeah, not real. Yeah.
And it's family friendly. Everybody's invited, and we're gonna have little games for the kids in the backyard. You know, we have like
We're all gonna be
stuff.
standing around like the guys from King of the Hill. Somebody's been standing around. Oh, look at! I think he's getting ready to go. I think he's getting ready to go. No, false alarm. He didn't go. He
I
didn't
think
go.
you'd be surprised at how fast
yeah.
it
Hopefully,
will probably
hopefully
be
it doesn't
over.
go in the trailer and then come out.
Well,
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't happen too fast because the people are like, all right, party's over. He went to.
Well, you never.
And
It's
they're
2
gonna leave.
rounds. 2 rounds. You never know.
Oh, okay.
One is the $50 round. One is the $100 round.
Oh,
It's gonna be fun.
well, I'll be there. So
Really,
just warning you. Yeah,
that's gonna be weird.
I know. Why is that weird?
I don't know.
So I gotta preface you being here. So Becky and I have a very interesting friendship. We always talk smack to each other. We literally like talk smack like in front of other people to each other. We try to like whatever, but we don't take any of it seriously because it's all in fun. But because
I'm serious.
Becky can really like turn up the language sometimes when she wants
Shut
to like
up.
really let it right
That's
in.
not true.
No, we do it, but only when we're
I
just
warned them
whatever.
both before the show started that I reminded them both it's PG show,
Yeah.
so we're okay.
Well, when I told Becky to the show tonight, I said, you can't come in here, you can't use any curse words or whatever. And she's like, what are you talking about? I don't curse. But I believe me, it can happen sometimes. Sometimes, right? Yeah.
I've been
Am I
with,
wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I've been with both of you, and I've heard it more often than not. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hey,
They say
go
they
ahead.
say that people that
Becky,
shut
it's a-
up. You're
we
you're
said
so damn dumb.
we
you're
said
so
we
dumb.
said keep it G
You're
rated.
so
please.
dumb. He's such a liar. None of that just happened.
did you ever get your cowboy hat?
No,
But is it a real cowboy
I
hat? Or is
didn't.
it
You're
with
supposed to
dumb?
buy one from Mario.
I know.
Oh yeah, it'll be legit.
I know. I told him he goes, oh yeah, I don't have any more of those right now, but I'll have one. And then
Well, because if you're going to the cow plot bingo, you should be wearing a
You should
cowboy
be
hat.
wearing a real cowboy hat, not a dorky looking one. And Mario will hook you up with the real one. You'll probably come in with it on backwards or something.
And Mario's a good conversation because we're going to be talking later about
We have,
Mario and part of what he.
I also
participated in.
have something to talk about Mario. A couple different ways. He's our little star of golf.
Yeah.
no,
That's right.
he is.
That's right.
No, I 100% agree with
Very
that.
proud
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah. Matt says, I've never heard Becky curse before.
Matt.
I know.
Ward,
I'm making all that up, Matt. I'm making
Thank
it all
you.
up. I'm making it all up.
Thanks, Matt.
Anyways. All right. So what else we got? We got Cow Plot Bingo, Cinco de Mayo. What May would not be complete without Cinco de Mayo. And for Bert Azevedo, this is not Cinco de Mayo. This is Cinco de Mayo. It's different. So I'll throw that out there. It's Saturday, May 2nd. So it's not really on Cinco de Mayo. This is like pre de Mayo. We're going to call it the pre de Mayo. Cinco pre de Mayo.
This is
we're gonna
Dos de
call it.
Mayo.
Yeah, Dos de Mayo.
Yeah.
Cinco Dos de Mayo. Anyways, this is a big fundraiser. Actually, this is not the one I was talking about. I'm thinking getting too far ahead of myself. This is the Saturday market event. So what's going to be cool about the Saturday market for this month is they're doing a best taco in Galt competition.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing like a taco showdown because there's all this talk about who has the best taco in Galt. So they're going to award a title. I mean, they might even have like a cool like belt or so. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm sure it's going to be cool for best tacos. So if you want to participate in that competition, you need to get with Parks and Rec. I don't know. I don't think it's too late to sign up for that. But I know they have had some local people in town sign up to compete. So
Really?
Oh yeah.
Not just businesses.
No,
Yeah,
you can.
that's
You,
what I was thinking.
well,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I think I don't know the stipulations, but you can definitely be like a taco truck or a taco vendor.
Okay.
I don't know that you actually have to have a health permit or all that kind of stuff.
No.
Those would be great questions. I don't know if somebody on the street can just be like, "Hey, I make a mean taco. I want to compete."
Right.
Maybe you can compete because yeah, I'm not sure about that. But if you want to find out more, contact Galt Parks and Recreation, and you can ask them, more details about this and how you can get involved. But it will be cool to see who wins because
You know what makes a really good taco? Potatoes.
a
No,
tortilla,
It has to have potatoes in it and corn.
potatoes.
Yes.
in a
What?
taco?
No, it's the best. It's the bomb. Heck yeah.
Like shredded potatoes
no,
or
but
chunky
like
potatoes?
what do you call them? Hash browns. Yeah, it's the best.
Oh,
Oh, you'll never go back.
No,
You'll never go back.
Wow.
You got to do it.
I don't like the burrito. They do that with burritos. They put
Yeah.
no,
no, it's not like that. It's taco.
Well, no, I do like I like potatoes in a burrito, especially obviously a breakfast burrito. But I've never heard of like I'll have to be honest with you, Becky. I don't know of any like really legit taco truck in town that people say, oh, there's people at the best tacos. I don't think they have potatoes in them.
My daughter's grandparents, that's how they make it. And believe me, that's their heritage. They have potatoes in the
Well,
tacos.
I guess I could be
And
wrong.
that's who got me on it.
Are they part German,
No, they're
Irish?
Hispanic.
Probably Irish.
No,
Well,
they're-
they're probably Hispanic Irish.
Oh,
The
God,
potatoes and
I
the-
don't know.
Latino Irish. That's an interesting one. Word engineering to California burrito. Oh my gosh. California burrito, Matt, really? I don't think so.
You know what the best way to eat a potato is?
What? With butter, so much butter on it?
Oh, as vodka.
Oh, ew.
What?
As vodka.
There is potato vodka.
That's how you make vodka. Is potatoes.
Mhm.
No, but I thought you said
It's to
best way.
drink it
I
as
thought you said
vodka.
best way to eat.
The best
Oh,
way
I
to
get
eat
I
it
get
is
what you're
drink it as
saying.
vodka.
You put a shot in the
I
potato,
wasn't. I
hollowed
was
out
slow. I was
potato,
slow on that one there. Sorry.
and then you drink it.
All right. What's our
That
next
works,
event?
Uh-huh.
This is the Maker's Market. We're going to come back to that. So we got the Taco de Mayo. As you can see, there's a common theme here going, right?
This is
Tacos.
also on Dos de Mayo.
Yeah, Galt Rotary is doing Taco de Mayo. This is the evening, though. This is the Saturday market's during the day. That's the taco competition. And then possibly maybe the winner will come. I don't know. But this is a great event. They sell a lot of tickets every year. There is some tickets still available. So if you'd like to go support the Galt Sunrise Rotary and have some great tacos and drinks and margaritas and music by one of our sponsors, King Sound. Shout out to Brian King, one of our sponsors. He's always generating his time for these local events, always doing stuff for the community. So we appreciate you, Brian. You can text for more info. You can text or call 916-662-6915, or you can scan one of the QRs. We also share this on our social media, so you can check us out on Instagram. We have these flyers up.
You know what? I just realized from looking at the date and doing the math in my head, and I'm a little slow sometimes, but this actually means sometimes. This actually means that Taco Tuesday is actually on Cinco de Mayo this year.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
whoa, that's like
Wow.
dude.
Nobody will be at work
whole
on the
nother
Wednesday.
level,
No.
whole nother level right there.
I know. I'm gonna
Speaking of Taco Tuesday, he's probably not watching, but Mr. Thomas, if you are watching, you are going to be suspended from Taco Tuesday. He flaked 2 Taco Tuesdays in a row. He's like, "Oh, who's going to Taco Tuesday?" Like, I guess we'll go. All right, wait, we'll see you there, and then he doesn't show up. Right? See, I'm telling you, he's going to get kicked out of the Taco Tuesday group. Anyways, all right, next event. What do we got? The ribbon cutting for the water slide. The new water slide is done. It is officially I don't know if it's 2 or 3 feet, but it's taller than Elk Grove's water slide. All I know is we approved it. We want to make sure it was taller than Elk Grove's.
Because
water
we're
slide.
better.
Right. Exactly.
We are.
So
We are.
I heard it's really fun. Some of the staff have already taken test rides down the slide. I'm actually been invited to do a test drive down the slide before it opens. I just got to let them know when I want to come do that. I actually invited a small remember Jackson that we had on our show from the Junior Hawks.
Mhm.
So I invited him to come along to be my VIP. So he
Nice.
gets to be the first kid to go down the water slide.
That's
He'll
fun.
actually be able to say, I'm the first kid to go down the Galt water slide ever.
But you're going to do it while it's still cold, like a cold plunge, right?
It's going to be, no, I think the water's actually heated, but I'm not sure, but it's before it's actually officially open to the public per se. So, but I heard it's really cool. I heard that I've been told by some of the staff that went out that the bigger you are, it's a little bit crazy. Like you really shoot out hella far out the slide. So it's kind of interesting how it's going to go.
It'd be
But-
super cool to like throw water balloons at you as you're coming out or something. Like have everybody just plummet you. with them.
Yeah, no, I don't
Like
think so.
I would pay for that. That's another money
I'm
raising
sure
thing.
you will. Well, I'm not going to tell
Fundraising
anybody
thing.
when I'm going down. It's going to be totally top secret. All right. So, anyways, but the ribbon cutting, the official day grand opening to the public is going to be May 23rd. That's when the swim season, kind of starts off around that time. It might start that day actually, but so it's grand opening and public swim from 2:00 in the afternoon to 7 p.m. So at the Gora Aquatic Center. So long time coming. We're excited about it. And I think that's up for the Makers Market. So, so before we move on to that subject, I want to remind everybody to follow us on Instagram. We are almost to 1,000. We're a little ways away from 1,000, and that's a huge benchmark for Instagram. So we're trying to get there. So if you not already don't follow us on Instagram, check it out. We put clips from our shows on there, so you don't have to watch the whole show. You can go on there and you see some really cool clips. We put some cool stuff from our sponsors on there. We put a lot of good content on our Instagram. So go check it out. It's Great American Little Town. Super easy to find. Go there right now when you're on your phone and just click follow. Do me a favor, please. And I think we did a thing with remember how we did that big 500 follower thing?
Yep.
So I think as we get close, we might do some fun thing where we we'll say that, the people that are the last 100 people that followed us, so would include people that follow us tonight, we'll do like a raffle or something. So we'll do like a last little push to get to 1,000. So
your OGs get nothing. That's kind of like Verizon, where they even give they give the discount to their current customers and their new customers. Otherwise, I'd leave.
could we do it? Could we do a drawing with every Instagram follower? We could do that?
Unfollow us
Yeah,
now
yeah,
and then,
unfollow
and then
us.
follow again to get
So
become
Kaylin-
another.
You have a
Kaylin-
mass
Kaylin
exodus.
Yeah, it's like, why did our follower count go down?
Oh my God.
Oh
we
wait,
lost
they
everybody.
unfollowed and then refollowed. Oh, okay. No, she actually said that we can do a thing where we can put everybody who's a follower in our drawing.
I think that's a lot more fair.
So that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
That's
Dan could share the show more. Oh, somebody says Dan should share the show more.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, Dan can do that. Yeah, you know what? So I'll give Dan clips of the show, and then or he could clip
I
pieces.
share.
And yeah. So shout out to the Fandango Club, by the way. They're actually right here behind. We have their logo. We don't have them visible right now, but Becky, shame on you, Becky, covering up the
Where is
Fandango. It's actually behind your chair right
oh,
here.
see?
Yeah. It was over there, but we
Well,
moved
that's a dumb
when
place
it's
to
just
put it.
when it's just Dan and I.
we tend to move it around a little
Oh.
bit because Sean won't give me any wall space for it.
Oh,
So
stop.
I wanted to put it right here, but then he had to put his light
my
right
gosh.
here.
Yeah.
So we couldn't put
God
it there.
forbid with the light.
It should have been right
See,
there
this
in
is
the
what
middle.
this is what I get. This is what I
Yeah.
get. See what happens is people in the community, they beat up on me because of my city council position, talk trash.
Is that
and then,
why?
and then
Just
everybody
because
else
of the
just
city council?
yeah, and then everybody else just follows suit. So, well, everybody else is doing it. Let's just beat up on Sean too.
I gave my dad
I'm
hey.
emotionally beat
I
up on
doubt
him.
if you have any emotions.
when I was back when I was back in North Dakota. I gave my dad's an official member of the Fandango Club. I
Do you
gave him
really?
one of the buttons. Yeah,
That's
Becky,
yeah,
Becky, I'm being very polite, letting you beat up on me right now, and I have
People love it. They
I have
want to do
not-
it.
I
They're
have
just
not-
afraid
I have-
because you're somebody
I
in
have
the
not
community. I
responded
did the air
back to
quotes
any
like
of your
that.
insults so far, but I can trust me.
It's all with love. It's respect.
I
People
have,
want to do
I
it.
have
I'm
no
doing it for
feelings. I
the.
have no heart. I have a cold heart.
I'm doing it for
Ice
the
cold. It's
community.
like an ice cube. Yeah. Anyways, he has right. What did he say? He has it right by
by
his chair.
His little. I gave him that button. I got all these buttons,
Oh yeah.
and the Fandango.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I
Cool.
made him an official. I gave it to
Oh,
Dad.
he's an official member.
He's an official
The
member. now.
membership is growing.
Yeah,
Membership's
I
growing.
think it's up to 4 now.
Yeah. Hey, 4 quality members though. That's what counts.
It's still 4 more than you have in your fan club.
This is true.
Yeah, I like it.
I
Yeah,
have-
exactly. You're lucky to have one in there.
I'm gonna start my
They
own,
unfollowed
I'm gonna
you.
start my I'm gonna start my own fan club when I'm out of office. It's gonna be called the Unmayor Club. The Unmayor Club. We should share that, by the way. So why don't you so the reason Becky's here again to reintroduce. So Becky, you are a local, I'm being serious now. I'm not poking fun at you. So Becky is not one of our sponsors. We have two religious sponsors, but only because she would love to be. She would say, I would love to support your show, even though I really don't like you. I like your show, but I would like to support it. And I just said, you can't because we have two religious sponsors. But Becky is actually one of the big movers and shakers in town. She's been in real estate for a really long time. And so if you,
30 years.
30 years.
That's a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. Show off. So yeah, don't date yourself. Now be careful there.
I'm
Becky.
old. I have a mirror.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
I don't care if you know how old I am.
Vampires don't look in mirrors. Sorry.
Well, we know you can't see yourself in a mirror. So
Anyways, yeah. So I mean, she sold a house here and there, just a couple once in a while.
once in a while.
Stuff that nobody else wants to buy, they give to Becky. Yeah, no, actually, but sincerely though, she's the kind of lady that will get you like twice what you're asking for your house because she uses all tactics, even the ones that are like not very ethical, to make sure you get top dollar for your house. So if you want a nice, if you want a nice ordinary realty agent that's very nice and all kinds of stuff, or you want somebody who's cutthroat that'll give you top dollar.
I can do
I'm
that,
just
but
joking.
it's ethically.
Yeah,
You said you've been doing real estate for
just
30 years?
joking.
30 years in the business. Yeah.
And has it always been in Galt or was it?
No, I started in Elk Grove, Sacramento area, and then lived in Elk
But
Grove.
you know Galt well because
We
you
almost
grew up
didn't
in
let her in the
Elk
building
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
she's has Elk Grove ties. We almost didn't let her in the building. It was a really hard decision.
But Elk Grove is not my town anymore. I've been here for
Thank
years,
you.
and we love
All right,
golf
that's why we
way
let-
better than Elk
You've
Grove.
lived here longer than you ever lived in Elk Grove.
That's
No,
what it.
that's
no.
a lie.
Not yet?
No.
Oh.
I graduated. Oh wait, I'd have to figure that out.
All right,
Think
let's
about
stop
it.
there.
Okay.
My sister,
much Elk
my
Grove
sister lives
talk.
in North Dakota, and I've always said that she's actually lived back there longer than she ever lived out
Mm.
here. So,
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. She went back there in 93. So,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you are you and your daughter Michaela
Mm-hmm.
are the people behind the Children's Makers Market. So the Makers Market is a children's entrepreneur fair.
You want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, I want you to tell us. Go ahead.
Okay. So Michaela and I decided in November of 24, I ran across a post on Instagram and I was like, man, we got to do this. And her and I talked about it and we all in, it's put on by the Acton Academy. They give you the platform, they give you the website and stuff like that and give you some rules to it. But we took it and ran with it and changed it quite a bit. So it was in 2024 was our first one, November. And this is going to be our fourth one this time. You're so distracting.
Sorry.
It's going
I
to
don't
be
know
our
what's going
fourth fair. And the first one was in our parking lot. And Michaela's had a goal of 25 booths because we were like, how are we going to get these kids here? We actually ended up having 56.
In
And
the first year.
yeah,
Wow.
56. And our parking lot was so full. And it was overflowing. We didn't want to turn any kid away. So we didn't. And we did what we could and we got it done. The next year we approached the city and they agreed to partner with us. So the city and the Saturday Market and the Chamber of Commerce have all backed us. In fact, the city has really come out for this event, coming out of the woodwork after they
Good.
saw what we did. With
Well,
our
of
first
course,
one.
that's no offense, but that's kind of what the city does. They go, "Oh, you got a great idea. Can we be part of it?"
Yeah,
they wanna
exactly.
they want to get on the bandwagon, but it's good because because they're very helpful with it. I mean, to help.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, having the city involved has a lot of advantages because there's a lot of you have to close down the street.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that people don't realize when you put an event on. It's not just as simple as like, oh, let's just put the event on. I mean, street closures alone can be very expensive.
$4,000
Yeah,
just
so-
cover that part of our street.
Yeah. So, and we're going to show some pictures.
Mhm.
So the event this year, it has been in the past. It coincided with the Saturday Market, but it's going to be on the same day as the Saturday Market, right?
Correct. We did it that way because the city's already closing down the street. So
Yeah.
it didn't cost as much to add our little section. And
Yeah.
they said to us, if you can if you can put enough kids in the street from your business right there by the liquor store
Mhm.
to the other end, so we can bring Saturday market together,
Yeah.
you got a deal. And that was easy for us.
So the Makers Market part of the Saturday market will span from the intersection at
Compadres?
7th Street, 7th and C.
Just this side of Compadres, because they're going to have the dancing horses right there. We have to give them a little bit of space for
Oh,
safety.
so it's
and
not going to
stuff.
go all the way down to your building then?
No, it does. Goes. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What
so
you mean?
that's 7th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7th and C. It's all right. She doesn't know where her
I
own building
don't
is.
know.
That's
what
all right.
I don't
Hey,
know.
it's okay if realty agents don't even know where their own buildings are. It's fine. You don't need to know
Would you go
geography to
on?
be a realtor.
Anyway, yes.
Let's
that's
move
where
on.
it's
Don't
at.
nothing to see here. Keep on doing.
On the east end, it'll be closed at 7th and Street.
Correct.
By your building,
That's correct.
by the liquor store.
Uh-huh.
And then it'll go down to Compadres Market.
Correct.
By Spawn's, where Spawn's Cookies is, the intersection right there at
Mhm,
5th
before that.
and
Mhm.
C Street. So basically 2 blocks.
Correct.
And that's all. And so easy ups and everything on both sides. We're going to show a photo up here in a second
Let
of
me just tell you, we make it look a little bit different so that you can tell when you're leaving Saturday
Okay.
market and going to the kids market, we have it different. And then we have signs there that says, give these kids grace. You're going into their area and let's be nice to them and give them grace.
cool.
And we even stand there sometimes and say, hey, you're about to enter the kids zone, and so it's
You are
pretty
about to enter the
cool.
kids
It's pretty
zone.
special. Mhm.
Yeah. So actually that's a
So-
picture of that you guys after, but let's
That
pull
was
one of the
after.
aerials.
Mhm.
Let's
This,
pull up one of
this
the
one
aerials.
coming up will be the 4th one, you said?
That's correct. Uh-huh.
And the first one you had how many participants?
Can you
We
pull
had
up one of-
56 booths, about
pull up one of the
96
aerials
kids.
It shows there you go.
And how many has it grown to?
Well, we probably have, and we're continuing to take them. We're at about 96 kids,
So you have
um,
96 entries right now.
96
Wow.
kids participating in about
Nice.
75 booths, but everybody
Wow.
hasn't even done it yet. Yeah.
Right.
So we've taken up both sides of the
So
street.
as you can see from the photograph here we're sharing, so you can see, so your office is down the lower left of the picture that has the white little fence railing.
Yep.
So this
Closest to us.
is looking down C Street,
Mhm.
this is looking west on C Street. So you can see all the booths. Those are all children's booths, children's business booths. So what it is, children's entrepreneurs. So they have like everything from like they make stuff, they bake stuff, they have a little service they provide for. I mean, you name any kind of business idea that somebody could come up with. I've seen it with these kids, right?
5 to 18 years of age.
and you have different age groups, right?
Mhm. There's 5 different age groups.
And so you have judges that actually judge based on age groups, right? So you
Correct.
don't have like a 17-year-old competing against a 6-year-old.
No,
Right.
There's 5 different age groups, and there's 2 judges assigned to each age group. The
Okay.
judges go out and they have a certain criteria that we want them to look at. You've done it, so you know
Mhm.
what it's like.
Yeah.
And they come back and meet those 2 judges, and then they tell us who the grand prize winner is, and the 3 runner. There's 3 different
Mm-hmm.
categories for the other 3.
And I was really impressed. So I did judge. There's a picture we'll show in a minute. We have a slideshow of some of the as a matter of fact, if you want to roll some of the slides, shows some of the kids in the events. There's another
That's
picture
the
looking down the
entrance.
street. There's the
So you could
entrance.
tell the difference
Yeah.
in the entrance.
So you're coming off 5th Street. This will be where you're going into. Look at how that's crazy. That's so cool.
It's super.
So the year
cool.
I judged was the first year. I was really impressed with the kids. Like, ask them, I was like, well, how much does it cost you to, what are you doing? How much does it cost you to make those? And some of the kids are like, well, this is how much I pay for this, how much I pay for this. And then they were really, really, and some of the, even I was suppressed with some of the younger ones were very knowledgeable about their product. And I
Mhm.
think to me, my advice, if any parent or anybody's watching whose son or daughter is going to participate in that, I think the one thing, see, there's me judging one of the things. The one thing I would have to say is product knowledge is probably the most important thing that you could know. If there's one thing you had to know above all else, is product knowledge, like the cost of the product, what it costs to make it, all the ins and outs, because that's really what a business is about, is like, what's your overhead, what's your profit, blah, blah. So if you, that should be, your kid should absolutely know that. Like if your kid cannot answer those basic questions, it's going to,
So when they have to fill out an application online, there's a $20 fee, and then we charge a fee because when you're doing a business, there's fees, right? So we kept it low, and they have to answer all those questions. Where did you get the money for your investment in the initial investment?
Mhm.
What's your product? You have to have a logo. You have to have a sign. You have to give us a video of your, promoting your product, because in business you have to do all that. So that's
Yep.
what we require.
And today, today I was looking at your Instagram page. So there's an Instagram page, Children's Makers Market. So it's a light green logo. Go follow it. A lot of the videos,
Galt Children's Makers Market.
Galt Children's Maker Market.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of the videos that the kids submitted, and they're actually really cool. I started watching some of them. I was
Mhm.
like, those are awesome.
They are.
They
Really
made
good.
some really cool videos. Some of them were very professionally made. I was like,
Mhm.
wow, I got to up my game for social media because they were pretty good. So these pictures we're showing right now are some of the kids in some of their products. Some of these
These are
kids,
the awards.
these are some winners here. They're
Mhm.
holding up some checks and stuff they
So
got.
what are they working towards? What is it that they're
So each age category can win $350. The number one kid in that age category gets a check for $350. And then
Wow.
there's three $50 prizes: the best business concept, the best booth. Oh my gosh, I just forgot the
So a
best
kid could
person.
win their age group,
Mhm.
and then they could also win best business ideas. So you could actually win another
Mhm.
supplement, right? Because there's multiple categories. Okay.
Yeah, 3 categories.
Yeah.
4 total. We have a really special guest this time who's going to be a judge. It's Senator Nilo.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah,
Great.
he's
He's a
gonna.
great guy.
He is really cool.
Yeah.
And he's been in business,
Right.
forever, all his
Yeah,
life.
with the Nilo Water
So
Group,
he's
yeah.
going to do a senator's award. He's going to pick one kid that's going to get the senator's award. It's going to be a
Very
special
cool.
award. They're going to get a
That-
special certificate
cool.
from the senator.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Each one
Nice.
of the kids in that wins the number one prize is also going to get a certificate from the senator that says, that's pretty special.
I should have did a mayor's award last year when you had the market. I didn't even
You
think
should
about
have.
it.
You suck. You
Yeah,
suck.
and I've- and
I
I've-
could do an unmayor award.
I've attended this and it's pretty impressive because you see kids who, it's not, there's kids out there that are baking goodies or cookies with
Mhm.
specific recipes. There's kids who are doing like dog treats or animal treats or
Mhm.
or even like leashes for dog, like animal stuff or
They're making
toys
bracelets
or bracelets. I mean, there's jewelry.
Mhm.
There's some of these ideas. You walk by and you look at and you start talking to some of these kids. And you see what they're and you kind of see how their thought process was
Mhm.
to get to where they are, and it's
So-
pretty impressive.
We are trying to get everybody to do it. We don't want any kid left behind, right? So a good example, my grandson is shy. So the first year he did it, his mom, Michaela, wanted him to do it, but he's shy. So she made it easy for him. The sodas are $1 a piece or whatever. He didn't have to give change, super easy. He didn't have to make anything. And the people needed that service. The next year they sold socks and they did really well. And
Hmm.
that's just him, right? But so they can do anything. They don't have to make it,
Right,
but they have
right.
to make up the business plan
Yeah,
and
It has
sell
to
a
be the
product.
idea of a business. They
Uh-huh.
still have to tell you what this is how much
Yeah.
my product cost me to purchase versus wholesale price and
Mhm.
retail price and
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
I
have
re-
to know that business
I
plan.
remember asking a couple of kids, and it was some of the older age groups, right? And hit some like 5-year-old with this question. Excuse me. I remember asking, saying something like, "Well, how much?" He was like, "Well, the materials I have this much into them," and I was like, "All right." And then, so how long does it take you to make them? Like, how much labor time do you have in there? And I was thinking that they weren't going to understand what I was saying, so I had to explain to them. And they're like, "Well," and I remember this particularly said, "Well, it takes me about 10 minutes to make each one, so I can make 6 an hour." And so roughly, and I'm making this much profit on each one. So I'm basically making this much an hour. So they were able to break it down like that. I was like, that's really
Mhm.
good. Good for you.
Mhm.
That's kind of what we're looking for. Now, obviously, it's younger kids, it's hard for them to understand that kind of stuff. But really, in the world of business where you have overhead and things like that, this is great. This is not, could some of these kids come up with a business idea? They're like, you know what? I remember looking, going, this is actually a real business idea that could
Mhm.
really be a real thing.
Mhm.
And there was one kid who actually already did this as a business on the side. It was already a working business that he did. I was kind of impressed by that. It was a couple boys, and they did cookies and stuff.
Yeah,
and they,
did
they
so
delivered
good.
them
The
and stuff.
cookies were so good.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of interesting. Yes,
But we told them they sold them too cheap, right? The package and everything, it looked kind of like the crumble cookies. They did
Okay.
such a great job.
and they
But
delivered them and stuff. It's kind
yeah,
of weird.
so
Yeah.
good.
It's just it was weird that I just didn't expect. It was a cool business idea, but it was like it just kind of caught me off guard. It's like, wow, this is a real thing you guys do. That's awesome.
But I
Yeah.
think it's interesting. You mentioned that you told the kids that sold the cookies that they sold them too cheap.
Mhm, yeah.
So I think it's good for these kids who are wanting to start these businesses or who have these businesses to get some of that feedback, that maybe some of the critical feedback of, hey, why don't you consider this, or why don't you look at that, or cost savings, and maybe that will benefit them moving forward with whatever the business is.
We've had some really good interaction with some kids. The high school florist is what she's called. She has another name as well. She's done really well with this business. She's super bummed because she can't be there this time because there's something going on with FFA at Cal Poly.
Hmm.
And then the other kid, Weston, I forget his last name. I can't see this, but he made birdhouses. I bought one of those. They were so cute, out of used wood around his house, just out in the pasture
Yeah,
or whatever.
isn't that the Weston Watts? Isn't
Yes,
it?
no,
Yeah.
not Weston Watts.
It wasn't?
No, Michaela's probably yelling at me right now.
Oh,
because
it's
I can't remember his
wasn't it?
name.
Was it? But it was Weston.
I know, I
It was.
can
It
hear
was
her.
Weston's wood shop or Weston
Yes.
something. I remember him.
Yes.
I remember.
I know she's yelling at me. So whatever, Michaela,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm sorry, his last name, but he did, he just made it out of scraps and it was so good.
Right.
That's cool.
And then obviously you have Mario, which I'd like to talk about, but all the kids and the girls doing the flowers.
Yeah, Mario
Um,
Ruvalcaba. He's Mario the Hat Guy. We've had him on our show. If you want to
Mhm.
watch our show with Mario on our show, he was on this last year, and super cool guy. He's the one that gave Dad his cowboy hat. Dan looks good in a cowboy hat. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good looking hat. He needs to wear that hat more often.
We're bringing him back as a judge. We asked if he'd come
Oh,
back
yeah?
as a judge.
That's
so we're
awesome.
excited about that. Yeah. So he's going to be one of our judges.
I've
Good.
never met a young man who says the word "sir" more than that kid.
Such a good kid.
Huh, right?
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
Yep.
That's right, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. And I was like, whoa, okay, easy now. You're starting to,
And
it's a
so
little to like an outhouse.
So he'll be a judge for this month's.
he's going to be one of our judges. Yeah.
Yeah,
I asked him
good.
if he would do that, if he, and he said for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Very
And
Really
cool.
cool
he's
thing.
Pretty successful in what
No,
he's
he's really
gotten
good.
started and going. And
A really good thing about Mario, I don't know which way you wanted to go with this, but Michaela, my daughter, her husband works for Sac County. And so they, the sheriff's rodeo that was put on,
Mhm.
Michaela got Mario in there. And
Oh, nice.
now, and he made the sheriff a hat and all
Yeah.
the guys a hat and everything. It was super cool. Well, now they've requested that he comes to the gala and to all the rodeos. I mean, he's requesting them to
Nice.
come back.
Wow.
So that's another door open for him.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's super cool.
Yeah, it
We're
is.
really
And
proud of him.
I see other kids all around town wearing his hats.
Mhm.
Like wearing his, not just his cowboy hats that he shapes and forms,
Mhm.
but wearing his ball caps just with his logo on it.
Mhm.
So he's
Mhm.
got a very, his brand is around, right?
Yeah, he'll be at the cow plot bingo.
it's pretty cool.
FYI.
Nice. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this getting into kind of diving into this whole thing, this is not just about kids, whatever their business concept is. This is not just about them seeing if that business concept can actually turn into a real business down the road. This is just about teaching kids about business, right? Even if the kids never did whatever that is they're making, more than just this time, or maybe when they're taking away the understanding of what it takes to run a business and
Mhm.
understanding economics and what it takes to when they go into a store, they go out to Taco Bell or they go out to their favorite whatever. They understand this business. Every business is different and unique and it has a product. And some you have to make things. Sometimes people just buy stuff and resell it. They don't have to make anything. They're just a middleman. Every business has a different idea, and this is teaching these kids that.
Well, and the
And I think it's
confidence level-
important.
The confidence level that it gives
Yeah,
them.
Absolutely.
Just with my grandson, it's like night and day. Now he's excited to do it. There was one gal that didn't have the backing of her family necessarily and still wanted to do it. She pushed through. She had a little young entrepreneurial mind, and we helped her through that. And she did. And we're so glad that she did, because she didn't necessarily have the backing at home. And that's another thing, whether it be financially or whatever, we want to help every kid be able to do this. So if a kid doesn't have the funds to start it up and do the fair or give us the $20 for the entry fee, we have businesses that are waiting to sponsor these kids.
Nice.
They
Very
want
good.
every kid to be able to do it, but they
Yeah.
have to come forward. So we want kids to know that. We don't care. We want you to do it. We
And
want
that's
you to
part
have
of
this
working with the
experience.
chamber on
Yeah.
part of the
Well,
part
the
of it as
business-
well, right?
Yeah. And the businesses come out of the woodwork for
Right.
us. They come to us and say, what can we do? We want to
Yeah,
sponsor.
and Kat from the
Well-
Gulf Chamber of Commerce was
Mhm.
telling me that all the kids are what they call junior chamber members.
Mhm.
Well,
So-
and I think the thing too is, what people forget is a lot of mom and pop shops that we have in this community, luckily, that's just it. They were kids. Maybe
Mhm.
they didn't come up with their idea, but they started from nothing and had an idea for a business,
Mhm.
built that business,
Mhm.
developed that business. And now you're just kind of giving that taste of it or that encouragement to these kids at a younger age. I'd be curious to know how many kids participate in this over the years,
Mhm.
who 10, 15, 20 years down the road are going to have their own successful
Yeah.
mom and pop business going, whatever it might be. I'd just be curious to see how much of an impact this has down the road
Well,
on something like that.
Erica's Cookies helped a gal that was able to use her kitchen and everything, and she mentored her a little bit. She got to do her cookies there and stuff. There's businesses that want to do that. They're waiting to do that.
Right.
So we just have to have
Mhm.
the kids come forward. If you have any questions, go to the Galt Children's Makers Market, and there's a link right there to go and sign up. The signups are until the 24th, but we really
we're gonna
push
share.
it.
So we're gonna share that flyer that has the QR
Mhm.
code on it. In just a moment here,
So-
we'll leave it
so
up. We'll leave it up for a few
Sign ups
minutes.
end on Friday night.
this
Yes.
Friday. So 2 days from now, signups
Yep.
end.
I mean, if
There's still time if you want to
there is
participate,
still
kid
time,
wants
but
to
we're still
participate.
getting the
And
entries.
And this is it's not this Saturday, it's the following Saturday. So there's still time to put something together.
from 9 to 2. And Michaela is the one that gets all the entries. And we try not to have kids have the exact same thing. We try to have different things, but like we don't want 10 people selling the same cookie or whatever. But she's really good about that.
So what happens if you do get a lot of people signing up doing similar stuff? Do you turn them away?
We try to make it work, or if they're selling multiple things, she'll say, we don't want you to sell that or whatever. She does all of that.
tries
But
to-
like you can be
Yeah.
selling chocolate chip cookies
Mhm.
with your recipe, and I
Mhm.
can sell them with my recipe, and maybe my recipe is gluten free. So that's what maybe makes
Yeah.
the difference between the two of them. So they're similar; they're both chocolate chip cookies,
dude.
but then they're
Your
different.
cookies are not anything like my cookies, bro. Don't even try to. Don't even.
I
Not
can
even.
tell
Don't
you,
even. Don't
Hey.
even hypothetical that.
Hey, I
dude.
come
you
from a
don't
long
eat
line.
I'm
chocolate
joking.
chip.
I don't make cookies. I don't know how to make
chocolate
cookies.
chip cookies with butter on them straight out of the oven. If
Yeah.
you don't eat that, then
Yeah.
you're missing
Then
out.
what?
You're missing out.
Then
That's-
what?
Just shut up. I'm just saying. That's
Next,
good.
you're gonna say. So Becky makes chocolate chip cookies that have potatoes in them.
No, that's disgusting. Butter on them. disgusting. But
That's the
honestly,
best.
we get it. We get this out to all the schools. The schools have participated. The elementary schools push it out in their newsletters and stuff like that. And the high schoolers this year, we have more high schoolers than we had before, and I think that's really exciting because we want the older kids right before they
Nice.
get out of high school. Hopefully, we're helping them. But
Yeah.
yeah, so get the word out in every. That's
Isn't that
funny.
just a potato chip?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Remember when we had? I'm blanking. I'm bad with names. I'm getting to be like you. I get old in my memory. Yeah.
I have no memory. I think I have big. problems.
No, our favorite Girl Scout,
Oh yeah,
when we had her on,
Loretta.
Yes. Well, how could you forget the name?
Loretta Lynn.
Loretta. So hey, shout out to Loretta. I mean, she don't know if she's watching, but if she has up to watch this
Her and the
after.
Frogs Bob.
Yep. Bobby Jr. Bob. Yeah. That was the funniest take ever. That was the funniest minute we have ever had on our show by far.
She's telling us about that. She caught all these frogs and she named them Bob, Bobby, Bob Jr., Bob Third.
So I started busting up. Then he started laughing. He actually started turning red. I couldn't catch my breath. Then Killen was laughing off screen. I couldn't contain myself enough to come back to the microphone. There's a clip of it. And she's just sitting there and she's like, just all happy. And we're just over there, like just gasping for air. It was so hilarious. But what I was going to say is, now I lost my train of thought. So we remember when we had her on the show, we were talking about that story. We're like, hey, so these guys broke in to this place and stole a bunch of these cookies. Did you hear about this, Loretta? There's somebody broke in and stole all these Girl Scout cookies. And she's like, are you serious? And yeah, I think they caught the guy and they arrested him. I think we have a picture. And so she threw up, and it was like, how when they arrest somebody, they have like the little markers that shows how tall they are and stuff, like a booking photo. And it was the Cookie Monster. And she was like, that's silly. It was funny. And I had like a little button that says, it was like, C is for cookie. And he was like doing this whole thing. It was funny.
Becky, one thing you mentioned is that does this take place in other communities, in other cities, or
it does if it can, yeah.
But
It's
this
through
isn't
any
something that-
local? But are there any in our area that you're
No,
aware of? Or
uh-uh.
so
And-
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
so if a kid from, let's say, Lodi or
Mhm.
Elk Grove wanted to participate in this, they could also participate as well.
Absolutely.
They don't have to necessarily live in Galt.
No,
Oh,
we
so it's
ha-
not
no,
just
we
to
have-
golf people. That's
Right.
a great question.
no, because we welcome
This is
anybody
why
that
you're
wants
here,
to do it.
Dan. This is why you're here.
I try.
He's the
'Cause you
smart
have-
one
I try
of
to be
the
the
show.
interviewer
Bring the
person.
great
Yeah.
He's the
questions.
smart one
yeah.
of the show.
I try. Good-looking, smart, funny. I try. It's tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
That's is this showing on the screen right now?
Mhm.
So that's
These are sponsors from last time.
yeah, and
Some of these are return sponsors, but we just want to show you some of the businesses that have helped make this thing happen.
and they
the
help in a
past.
big way. Trying to see Frontier is not on there. And she was is it?
Yeah, right there on the top.
Oh my gosh, how much bigger can that get? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a
So we got
back.
Carson's Coatings. We got
Uh-huh.
we got
It's that Ward Engineering
Chandler
one's kind of
Gross
distracting.
Chandler Gross
Ward
Group.
Engineering,
We got Casey Boyd, National Fire
National
System,
Fire,
Rhode Island.
yeah.
So these are not this year's sponsors, but some
Uh-uh.
of these sponsors probably have come back
Every
year after
single
year.
year.
But this
Casey Boyd.
this is just giving an example of some of the people that have stepped up monetarily to make something like this happen, which is, honestly, it takes, you guys obviously are putting it not only
It's a lot of work.
not only a lot of work, but just to organize it and organize the I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I've been involved in putting on a big thing before. It is no joke.
You're right. It
Um,
is not.
so-
And in the first couple of times we did it, Michaela and I mean, we had help and stuff, but we kind of did it.
So now you guys don't. Let me
But
ask you
now
this: you
it's
guys used to do this. You did this twice a year before, and then you correct me if I'm wrong, but you recently said that you guys are going back to just doing
Just
it
one
once a
time.
year. I think that's better.
Mhm.
But I think
It was
that
too
this could
much.
be one of the biggest. This could be one of the premier events that Galt does every year,
Mm-hmm.
is the Children's Maker Market. I foresee this honestly. I think that this thing could grow to 200
Mhm.
contestants in a couple more years. I honestly think you could get there because I think it's very professionally done. It looks great. It's getting a ton of publicity. Didn't one of the news channels or somebody did?
Yeah, the news channels have been out
yeah,
a
and they've
couple
done-
different times.
Yeah, I remember.
Mhm.
Yeah. I actually think that picture
So-
where I was judging was one of them.
So I
But
have a question too. We've mentioned that how many businesses and around town help sponsor. What can the citizens, what can the community do to help with this
So-
event? Like, what should we do?
Like anything, like we'll take with the volunteers and stuff. Like we have about 20 volunteers. And even checking the kids in the morning, what we give them for their $20 entry is a table, a chair for each kid, and a black tablecloth that we rent. So that they're, they don't have to worry about that.
so that
cost.
entry fee is not just because you want to charge an entry fee. There's
No,
that cost is used for something.
correct.
Yeah.
It covers really pretty much just covers the tablecloth rental, but we wanted every kid's booth to look nice and stuff. So now I just lost my train of thought. Oh, the volunteers. So like we need people to walk the street and help the kids get set up and make sure they're ready for the judges and hey, the judges are coming or
Right.
whatever,
But how important is it for the community to come out?
to come out. Yeah.
and
We
sponsor and not
Mhm.
sponsor, but come out and
please come out and
talk
shop.
to the kids, shop exactly. You're like,
Shop the kids. All of us usually try to buy something, maybe from kids that are struggling or possibly, may not sell a bunch of stuff or whatever,
Mhm.
because we want them to feel good.
Yeah,
about
because
it.
they're not
We want it to
they're
be-
not there just pitching their product, but they're
Mm-mm.
actually there. So some of the kids pitch their product and they actually sell out of the product.
Yeah,
too.
they do.
Like they
They
sell
do.
out of it. So people are asking. Lahaim made swag bags for last year's event. Yes, thank
yes,
you.
that was awesome. And they went to town on that. I mean, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
thank
how
you to
they were
Lahaim.
awesome.
Thank you to
Yes,
Lahaim.
Thank you so
they're
much.
one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
Their name is right there, right next to
Mhm.
Dan. So they're if you don't know what Lahaim is, they're the little organization down past Velvet Grill. They make all the handmade stuff. We've given away tons of the stuff on our show for our raffles. They make bags. They make all kinds. It's all one-off handmade stuff. This is not like store-bought. This is handmade stuff
Mhm.
by a bunch of ladies who just love making stuff. And so it's great. And like Gail said, they were involved too.
now,
So-
Yeah.
Mother's Day is coming up as well pretty
Mhm.
soon, right? Like that's in
Uh-huh.
May.
Yeah.
I think it's
May.
the following weekend after the 2nd,
Mhm.
right? So, if you're out as somebody goes to the market, maybe you're looking for maybe a gift from mom,
Yeah.
check out some of the booths because I guarantee you some of these kids are going to have something that would
They
make
have-
a good product.
yeah.
They
give
really
to
do
mom
have
as a
good
gift.
stuff. Really pretty bouquets of flowers and stuff like that. But it's a whole array of things that you can't believe. But as far as people coming out in the community shopping, if anybody wants to give back and volunteer that day or anything, we will not turn away the help because it's a big undertaking. We have the judges down and that kind of stuff, but we do need volunteers to help just with anything. If you just want to hang out,
like Matt just said, Matt Ward, one of our sponsors. Shout out to
Mhm.
Matt at Ward Engineering.
he's
He
a
said,
sponsor of ours as well.
yeah, he's always been a sponsor.
so
He's
who
very
should they
involved. He said,
contact?
I help clean up after the Maker's Mark. Thank you. Somebody's got to do the dirty work.
Who should somebody contact before the 2nd if they wanted to help participate?
Okay, so they can call Michaela or myself or go to the
That's the numbers on
freaking-
the screen right there, the 916-698-8245
Yes,
or the
uh-huh.
916. Those are the numbers.
Mhm.
Or you can scan the QR. If you want to contact
Call or
either
text?
Michaela or Becky
can
and say,
call or
I would
text,
love,
uh-huh.
you could say, I'd love to volunteer. How can I help? I don't have kids that would like to participate, but I just want to help volunteer and be a part
Mm-hmm.
of this. How can I help? Contact them at one of those numbers.
And it's just if we have too many helpers, you could just walk around and see if anybody has questions or whatever. So it's very rewarding. It's really rewarding.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
pretty impressive sight to see, to walk through and to see all these kids
Mhm.
and to see some of the ideas that they've come up with and to see what their booths. Some of the booths are phenomenal. Some of the kids go all
They
out on
really
their
do.
booths and
Mhm.
with their designs and with their and then some of them have the handmade signs and they're all just kind of cool. It's just
Yeah.
it's kind of that small town feel that we always talk about. And it's just a fun event to go to and to see. And there's a lot of smiles, and there's a lot of laughs, and there's a lot of positivity going on with it. And so
Yeah.
I think
But people
I think
always
it's
say,
fantastic.
but people
We just want you to have grace with the kids and help
But-
them learn.
and with that said, it's amazing that we had one person recently said that this town doesn't do anything to support children in our community.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
see when
Mhm.
when people like yourself and all the volunteers and all the sponsors and all the people and all the families and everybody that participate in something as great as this is just one event, even though it's a phenomenal event. And then somebody makes that comment online.
Right.
That's why I get so this is why I repeat it over and over from show to show, because it's a ridiculous comment.
Mhm.
And I think I need that person needs to be called out on saying something like that, because I mean, are you not paying attention to how many great things that go on? Do you, I mean, and here's the thing. You don't have to have a bowling alley or a movie theater or the world's best splash pad in town for there to be things for kids to do.
Right.
Those things would be great. Yes. But there's also a lot of great things for kids to participate in this town. And so I just feel like people need to be sometimes people just need to be glass half full people instead of
Mhm.
glass half empty people, you know?
Michaela and I have something else up our sleeve that we just talked about, which
I was just
which we're
trying
gonna
to
It's in
see.
this league.
we have to talk to the city about because they need to get involved. We're super excited about that, but
Yeah.
that's coming up too with kids. But
Oh, sneak
it's
peek.
gonna be
You heard it
it's
here
gonna
first. We
involve
don't know
the
what it is.
police and the city.
Oh, it won't be a robbery, I assure you. It
You-
won't be Becky getting arrested in handcuffs. Although that would be pretty cool. That would be cool to watch. I'd be there for that.
So
I'd be
cool.
like, lock her up. Lock her up.
Now, the last time you did the event, the weather was perfect.
Mhm.
Beautiful day for it. And that you can see in those pictures and stuff.
Mhm.
The event is rain or shine.
Rain or shine. Mhm.
And
Mm.
hopefully, fingers crossed, that we have some
What is the
beautiful
forecast
weather,
look
I think.
like?
Rain or
Well,
shine,
It's
yeah.
a week over a week out. So
No, I know, but I think there is a forecast.
Maybe a
I'm
10-day
just
forecast
curious
for it?
to look.
It's called the weather app. You just click on there and it gives you a 10-day forecast.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right
I
now.
know, but
Thank
you
you very
said
much,
it's called that
smart ass.
market.
You should be surprised that he has a smartphone and not a flip
Well,
phone.
Friday is 73 the Friday before, so I'm doubting it's going to be bad
Right.
weather. Yeah.
So
73
it'll probably
degrees
be-
or
Yeah.
chance
Yeah.
of rain.
Did
It'll
they
probably be pretty good.
did
I
they
mean,
even
that's
did they
just-
even have phones when you were a kid?
They were dial up. I carried a bag phone.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
even know what that is? Don't act like you don't that it. No, know what that is.
She had a phone number that
This
started
is-
with a letter.
So when Becky was young, when
If
Becky
I brought a phone in here, would you know how to do the dial thing?
when Becky, I ran a telecom business for 25 years, right?
Yeah, I don't.
My entire office was filled with antique phones. My house has antique phones, but I know you didn't know that, so I'll excuse you,
You
for
should
that.
you should take that phone to the
When Becky-
maker's market and see how many kids actually know how
Oh
to
yeah,
use it.
I bought one. No kidding. I bought one. It's red and it's a dial phone. I hadn't figured out what I'm gonna do with it yet. It could really plug in and use it, but
Mhm.
we don't
Actually,
have a plug.
you couldn't plug it in and use it.
I could if I had a phone line.
No, you couldn't, because it's a rotary, and then
That's not correct. It's an updated rotary.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
fake
thank you.
rotary phone. It's not a real
No,
rotary
it's
phone.
a real rotary.
You can't take only that.
Listen, I'm gonna have to come back on the show to show you this, but no, I bought it.
So if you were trying to educate me on real estate, I would listen. So I would appreciate you
That's a
saying,
lie. You don't listen.
You can't. No phone companies support rotary dialing anymore. So that doesn't the touch
Stop
tones.
by my office and tell me and show me.
Okay.
I'll show you.
I actually was cool. Do you know what a candlestick phone is? You know what a candlestick phone is. Do you know what a candlestick phone
No.
is?
Mhm.
Candlestick phones are the old phones that you lift the thing off and you put it up to your ear and
Oh,
talk
uh-huh.
in, like in the early days. I actually wired one once in my house and made it work.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. But so when she was a kid, when she, young kids, like when I was a kid, we had party lines. You would like, hey, I'm going to click over. I'm going to get so-and-so on the phone. Hang on. And then you click back over. He's like, all right, Johnny, are you there? All right, Billy, are you there? Okay, cool. So then we're on a party line, right? That's how we did it in the 80s. When she was a kid, it was like, she'd call and she'd be like, hi, Sarah, can you connect me to C Street 411?
That is
You know,
so
And then the
stupid.
switchboard operator would put it in there.
You know,
That was her party line.
you
No,
know,
it wasn't.
she might be older than you, but she looks younger than you.
Thank
so
you. And I'm way smarter than you.
Stop. Dan, you don't need to stroke her ego. Believe me, her ego's
Thank you.
big enough.
Thank
You don't
you,
need to
Dan.
make it
No,
any
I
bigger.
just like having somebody to side with. So-
Oh, thanks
I'm
a lot,
definitely on
Dan.
your side, Dan.
Yeah.
Thanks a
definitely.
lot, Dan. All right. It's 2 against 1. That's all right. Okay. It's all right.
Hmm.
That's all right. Says the guy. I'm not even going to go there. I'll just let you gang up with her. All right.
Uh-huh.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. So I do have a serious question, though. It's been since you and Dan wasted all our airtime
Sorry.
capping on me.
It's fun.
So do you think, I mean, obviously you're in real estate, so you're an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
I have, have regular jobs, but I've been basically self-employed for over 30 years. Dan on the other hand, has he had it was a state or federal? I'll make sure.
It was state,
State.
county.
So he had a county job. So he basically had a government basically
State
job. He's a
pension.
corrections officer. Do you think with we have this kids entrepreneur fair, right? So we're telling them how to be business owners, how to whatever. But do you, if you were talking to say your grandchildren, right? And let's say, they're of age where they can understand, they're 12 or 13. Do you actually think, would you steer young people nowadays more into being self-employed and being entrepreneurs? Or do you think that there's a lot to be said about, because the reason I ask you that is because for me, yes, being self-employed allowed me certain freedoms in life. And there's no cap on your success. You can be as successful as hard as you work. But on the other hand, in retrospect, I look back and said, but maybe I should have done Dan, he put in a great career. He's got a great retirement. As self-employed people, you have to make our own retirement, all that stuff. You don't get those safety nets. So there's a lot to be said about having a career path. Maybe you're a nurse and then you end up having a nurse's retirement, or you work for a union because you're like a machinist or a welder or an electrician or something, right? Or you're a police officer, right? Mm-hmm. So police officers, firemen, police officers, those are occupations where you're in public service and then you have retirements after. There's a lot to be said about those. So you, as someone who's been self-employed, I assume most of your adult life, what do you say to young kids?
I say, if it's in your heart, then you should do it, because you should be happy with what you do. You should work. You shouldn't hate your job. And some people are made to have those jobs, right? Whether it be a firefighter, a police officer, a correctional officer, or whatever.
So it should be. So what your message is
go with your heart.
what you love doing. If you really want to be a policeman or a fireman, then
that's
life of public service is probably for you. If you want to own your own, if you want to start your own computer company, or if you're the future Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or whatever, and that's your passion, then I guess you're going to be an entrepreneur. And I do feel, and this is not, but I do feel, and Dan's actually been a business owner too. And Dan ran an antique store for years, so he's been on both sides of it. I do actually think, though, and I think you would agree with me, people who are self-employed or entrepreneurs, you have to be cut from it's a different thing. There's some people are not cut out for that, and some people are.
They're not. You got to have the heart, because it's got some ups and downs. That's for dang sure.
But I think there's things too is, do you do the career because you're chasing the dollar, or do you do the career because you love what the career is? And then, especially as an entrepreneur, when we had the antique store, we weren't making money on the antique store. It was barely, but it was something we loved to do because I loved antiques. So, it's kind of that thing of, and even like working in corrections, when I started in corrections, a lot of government work, a lot of times when people work in the government work, you can make more money in the private sector than you can working in the government. But the whole goal was you eventually knew you get that retirement at the end. So that was really what you worked for.
So, and let's be honest.
Everything has to be.
Let's be honest though, Dan. Your job, your profession, at the end there, you were just like, man, I really don't like my job. You would do that. You were just ready to be done with it, right? So, so there's a great example where you're doing something. You're doing it because of the stability of the retirement or the stability of the job, and you weren't really doing it because you love. Let's be honest though. Most people, whether you're self-employed or you work for someone else, unfortunately, most people, the majority, are probably going to do something where they say, this is not really what I grew up saying I wanted to do this. They're not doing something they love. If you're lucky in life, if any young people are watching, if you're lucky in life, you'll end up doing something that you absolutely love. And if you love what you do for a living, it's not like work at all. They say that, right? But let's be honest. I liked doing what I did, and I like running the coffee shop. I do enjoy that. But I can't go back and say, oh, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be whatever. Sometimes I think you fall into something that you're like, I really enjoy doing this. Like you really enjoy, I know, just because I know enough about you to know that you really enjoy doing real estate, right? But it's not when you were a kid, you're saying, I'm going to grow up to be a real estate agent. No kid says that, right?
No one in their right mind can say that. No kids come
forward saying, Mom, Dad, I don't think you should buy that house because I think the commission's too high. I think we should go elsewhere. And they're like, what? It's like, well, I've been studying up. Yeah.
I can tell you one thing I wish somebody would have gave me advice on when I was younger is to buy real estate. Right. So I didn't buy my first commercial building till I was 60. And had my family thought like that, because my dad was a truck driver, my mom was like a secretary, a legal secretary or something. Had I had a parent that was an entrepreneur, right, mindset, I would have been different, I think. Right. I would have bought more real estate. And now I mean, I believe in that. Even with my son, who's 23 or 4, I can't remember how old he is. I don't know, something 23.
It's the old age again.
Yeah,
It's-
and
it's
my
that
daughter's
early
35 and my
Alzheimer's.
other kid's 41. Anyway, I tell them, you got to buy real estate even when it's high.
So what would buy me? I mean, that's coming for later. But so if I was to ask you to give young viewers, teenagers or lower, a bit of a business advice coming from somebody self-employed, maybe not so much real estate advice, but just business advice. It could be very basic or whatever. What would be something that would come to mind? What would you say? What would just be something easy?
that they should do?
Yeah.
get on
Not-
TikTok and sell products.
Not something to get into,
Oh.
just business advice. If you're going to be
Just-
self-employed,
Your name is all you have.
Yeah.
Once you ruin your name, you're wrecked.
that's reputation is everything.
So
absolutely,
you
yeah.
have to have ethics. Don't lie. Always tell the truth. If you don't know what you're talking about, admit it
Mhm.
and just work hard and tell them
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on
Everything
that.
else can be taken away from you.
Yep.
I think you're right,
Everything, Your house,
because,
your family, everything can be taken away from you, but your word is
name.
all you have.
Yep.
And your
Mhm.
word is your name. And I want to say
Well,
too,
in business, firsthand referrals are everything, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Even it's not just a real estate thing.
Mhm.
It really is. Like if you have a service business, especially references,
Right.
firsthand references. If I go to a buddy of mine and I go, "Hey man, you got a good guy who does auto repair, right?" They go, "Yeah, I use this guy over here. He's the best. He's super honest. I don't know if he's like the cheapest around, but he always treats me square. Blah blah blah." It don't matter if I went and got a price that was a little bit cheaper or whatever. I'm probably going to end up using that guy unless he's like way super expensive, based on that referral alone.
Mhm.
Am I wrong? That's how it
No,
is.
yeah, that's how we do.
Yeah.
deals.
but a lot of people, especially younger people, what they focus on is I got to go out and buy that new car,
Mhm.
or I got to take this big vacation, or I got to do this stuff, right? Spend the money on
Yeah,
that stuff.
they do.
And you were talking about if investing in real estate younger, and I tell people, I tell my family and stuff, my son, they don't make any more dirt. There's
Yeah.
only so much dirt.
Yeah.
So if you ever have a deal to buy something land wise, buy it, because they
Yeah.
don't make.
They're not making any more.
They'll make more cars. They'll make more clothes. They'll make
Yeah.
more.
But also
you
too,
know.
but just to play devil's advocate though, there has been people that have bought real estate and made bad decisions and lost a ton of money on real estate. So I'm not real estate buying real estate isn't always a slam dunk for sure.
But I've
100%.
lost 3 homes myself in the crash, but I'm not going to not buy real estate. I still
Right.
believe in
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm just saying. But I'm talking about
But the people I know that have had the most well-off people in my life that I've known have always been people that had real
Mhm.
estate
That's
or
how you
had
build.
invested.
So
in real
what would
estate.
your
how you
business
build
advice? I'm not talking
generational
about
wealth.
telling somebody go out and buy real estate. I'm talking about business advice. I know you own an antique store. What do you think is good advice to give to a young person who's thinking about maybe they like to be their own business owner someday?
Go work for somebody else.
Really?
Get a government job.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not mocking you. That's interesting. See,
No,
this is why I brought this up. Because some people will say, here's the thing about being an entrepreneur. And I say this because I was a contractor, which I still have my contractor's license for 30 years. And then we've had the coffee shop for 10 years, which they overlapped. But I can tell you, there is a lot to be said about the stability of technically working for someone else. I hate saying work for someone else because people go, oh, nobody wants to work for someone else. But there is, and I'm not saying it's all stability because I know people that worked for a company for 20 years and they were just given a pink slip and they're done, right?
Mhm.
But there is some stability about getting into a profession where you have, that like if you like my other daughter, Christian's a nurse, right? She's a nurse. So she's always can get a job somewhere in the nursing field. And she's more than likely going to end up with somewhere where she probably has some kind of retirement. She's probably got great benefits and all that. So when you're in a field, like there's a safety, now she could go off tomorrow and start her own health clinic, whatever, and try to be an entrepreneur and do that side of it, which she could still be a nurse, but be self-employed. But there's a lot to be said about that stability, honestly. And you think about it more when you get older.
But I think today, if you work for yourself today, I think with Instagram, TikTok, and things like that today, I think you have to approach being a business owner different today.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's not just
Yeah.
it's not just opening the storefront
Yeah.
and hey, put some ads in the paper.
It's
and
a
here
tough
we're
world
gonna
out
go.
there. It is a tough
You
world.
have to do the daily uploads to Instagram,
And most
the
businesses
daily
do not
uploads to
succeed.
TikTok, and
Most
things like that.
Let me ask you this, Becky. How many people do you think you've known in your life as a real estate agent who have got into real estate, got their license, and they were totally gung-ho and they don't even do it anymore?
I forget the statistics, but it's high in the first, I think it's like 75% of realtors in their first year
Right.
or 2 years
Right.
fail because
So
it's hard.
That's a stat that you could reflect onto
Mhm.
being self-employed. Self-employed is a tough giggle. There is ups and downs, and people sometimes don't have, and that's why I said you have to be cut from a different mold, in my opinion.
I was going to say that
You have to be committed And when those times get rough, you have to be able to dig in and not just throw in the towel. It is a tough go. Now, with that said, here's something interesting. I was thinking about this today. I was driving through town. And I don't know what made me think of this, but I think there's two kinds of people that are self-employed. There's people that will be self-employed and they'll run a business their whole life because they just don't want to work for someone else. And they can run a successful business that can allow them to have a life and pay for a house and pay for raise kids and a family and run a business, but not have to work for someone else. It's allowed them to do that, but it doesn't make them rich, and it doesn't build. They don't build something that they end up selling for $1 billion someday or whatever. And then on the other hand, there's some people that have their own businesses, which get to a point where like even retirement point where they sell the company for a bunch of money. Or they step away or they franchise it out where it takes to another level, right? So there's two kinds of people. There's the people that are trying to grow a business to a point where it becomes super lucrative. And there's other people that are just maybe running an antique store because they just love antiques and they just say, as long as I make this much money and I want to have a life, I can do that. So I think there's two types of people. I think the problem is if you do the first type, it does give you some freedoms to be your own boss and not have to work for someone else. And you take some of that risk out of, because people get laid off all the time and people lose their jobs. So you have that stability in that sense. But the problem is, as you get older and you start getting your retirement, because you haven't built this huge amount of wealth with that business, and you also don't have like a federal job or a pension or something, that's the risk with that kind of business. So these are things to think about when people go into business for themselves.
You can do a self-directed
retirement.
Which I did not recently, but a little bit back because of that. But I had a job, before, so I paid into all that. But I also have a husband with a good job. So even though there's been times where it was tough.
Is he your sugar daddy? Or are you the sugar? I want to know who makes more.
I'm not going to say.
Who makes more money?
I'm not saying.
I bet you make more money.
He has a really good job.
I can predict. He probably has a more stable job that brings in steady revenue.
He has, but he's operating.
You have potential to make way more money because of what you do. I know that, and you probably do make more money. But
take this. I was talking to somebody the other day about being a truck driver, right? And I told him, I said, don't be an owner operator right now with diesel.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, can you imagine if you were an owner operator, if you had your own truck and diesel shot up the way it is versus, hey, I'm working for McDonald's or Home Depot or one of these big companies or,
look, I'm going to say,
which would you rather be?
I'm not going to lie. There's a lot to be said. I know people don't think about it when they're 25, because when I was 25, all I could think about is starting my own business and getting on my own. I didn't want to work for them. My mind was always like, I can't just work for someone else my whole life. I have to go out and do something. My mind was always like, I can do better than this, right? But there is a lot to be said. As droll as it sounds, there's a lot to be said about punching the time clock for someone else and let somebody else have all the headaches. There really is. Right. And so for people that do that, I have no negative comments about that person.
The only problem when you work in government, though, is they always promote the idiots. They promote the idiots. So eventually you do get burnt out, because you get burnt out working for the idiots that they promote, because they don't promote the person that makes the most sense, or the person. They promote the person that they know that they can control. That's going to be the yes person. And so there is a frustration level that goes along with all of it too.
So I have two bits of advice.
Be a teacher.
I have two. We could sit there and talk about business advice all night, but I have two bits of advice that I would pass on to someone who's thinking about going and being self-employed. I was just talking to someone about this. So I've known people that work a regular job. This is the biggest question I get from people since in my life. They say, well, when do you know that it's time to quit your job and go, like, say they're doing like real estate on the side, right? And then they have a regular job, but they're doing it as a side gig because they don't feel like they can make enough money, right? They say, well, when do you know it's time to take that leap of faith and go away from the stability of a regular 9-to-5 job and go into that self-employment realm? And I say, when you come to a point where you feel like you're losing money because you're at that 9-to-5 job, that's when you know it's time. That's the simple answer. But my two bits of advice would be this. One thing I do see with young people is they start a business and they get very successful very quickly. And they tend to start spending that money instead of reinvesting that money back in the business and growing that business. They buy the fancy new truck or they buy the big house and they start overextending themselves. So even though their business is doing very well, they might be making, $10,000 a month, but they're spending $10,000 a month, or they're making $20,000 a month, they're spending $20,000. And I see that. I see some young contractor who's driving around. He's got the brand new fancy truck that, maybe it's, and here, this one kills me all the time. You get the guy, it's not just a nice work truck. he's got like the lifted truck with the fancy wheel and all stuff. It's like, what does that say to people though? I mean, if a guy rolls up and he's bidding on a job for me and he's like in this super crazy, like to me, that's just like, is this guy gouging me? Is he overcharging me?
Right.
On the other hand, I don't want him to pull up in this little dumpy piece of junk truck that's missing a hubcap and stuff. I want to look, because then I'm going to be like, does that reflect on the type of work he's going to do for me? He doesn't even take care of his own stuff. So you want to find that middle ground, right? So, so on one hand, that's one advice is don't start blowing your profits right away.
Live within your means.
Yeah. The second piece of advice is do something. Don't ever start a business because you think it sounds cool. Like, oh, we should start a sports bar. Like, how many people have sported a sports bar because it just sounded cool that I was going to have a sports bar? A lot of people will start a business because they think it'd be neat to have that business, or their buddy, they got a buddy that wants to be partners with them, right? Or they got a group of buddies. That's the big one. Oh, I got 3 buddies that are going to business. Worst idea ever, right? And they don't even have, you're like, who's your customer? Like, there's not even a market for whatever you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I see that a lot. And you're like, it's going to fail immediately. And you see it happen. They put a ton of money into it and it just,
Right.
yeah. So, Harry Wenzel, number one reason for business failure, lack of working capital. Yeah, that's right. Harry would know. Harry's a numbers guy. So yeah, it's good advice. Good advice. You have to make sure you plan for the unexpected. Make sure you have lots of working capital. And
A lot of things too comes down to supply and demand. And like right now, if the real estate market's doing well, then realtors are doing well, and you see, but if there is a crash again, how many
It's going to
realtors-
weed out the.
right?
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Back when
I'm
the
sure
crash
weed
hit,
it out. It weeded
right,
every
weeds
time
them
there
out.
is something like that. It weeds them out.
Mhm.
I mean, that's not the only time. I mean, the big one, 2008, was the big one everybody remembers, right? When
Mhm.
when the subprime mortgages just completely tanked the whole freaking market, right? But there was back in like 94, 95, the market was very, very soft then. I know because I bought a house then. And so, the market weeds out those fly by night real estate
Mhm.
people.
We welcome it. We
Yeah.
really do.
It's
See
the
ya.
filter.
It's about time you got out.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a
Now let's
serious
let the
question.
pros
Since we
in.
are talking about real estate, let me
Mhm.
ask you a serious question. Does the rise of AI, the inevitable rise of AI, does it scare you a little bit in the real estate market? Because it's gonna have an effect on so many different occupations. You don't think that it doesn't scare you just a little bit? Are you nervous about what it's gonna
No.
change in the real estate market?
No.
Why not?
Because I use it. So you use it, right?
Mhm.
Like you have to use it. You have to ride the wave. You have to use it the way that it's meant to.
But this
be.
isn't it. The AI is not going to be just a trend
No,
that
but
comes
I'm
and
already
goes.
using it like crazy. And believe me, we're I'm trying not to have
And I'm
this
not
get
trying to. I'm
commercial or
not.
whatever,
I'm trying to take away from what you guys do
but
because
no,
there's a
you
lot to
have
be.
to use it.
There's a lot to be said. But what I'm talking about is I saw this article once where this guy literally used ChatGPT to market his whole home, to do all the marketing, do all the contract, even the contracts for the house and everything. He didn't hire anybody. And he's like, I didn't have to pay a realtor, a commission,
I
or
heard
anything.
that a whole story
So
as
does
well.
that,
But
does that make you nervous? Does it make you
No.
nervous that more people will try that?
no, let them try it. I'm still going to have plenty of business. I'm not competing with AI, but with AI, like the Real Broker who we work with, right? They're already starting. You just say, hey, I'm looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with 5 acres and whatever, a white kitchen. It's like, brrr, and they show you the house. You send that to your client. Your client can say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I mean, we're working with it.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not
You're
afraid
using it
of
as
it.
a tool of
take,
Yeah,
benefit.
it's
take
a
advantage
tool.
of the tool. Yeah. No, I get what you're
so
saying.
You
Yeah.
have to understand it and you have to use it.
I mean, I'm just picking on you for being
you're
a
not
realtor.
picking on me.
I
It's
actually,
not going to put realtors out of business.
No, because I'm going to be there negotiating.
Right.
You're going to need us to negotiate. There is deals where you can do it without a realtor. There is. People do it.
would you believe me if I told you that I've actually sold 2 houses myself? Not my own houses. I've sold 2 houses for somebody. I'm not a real estate agent. I simply it was
You're not in prison for no, I'm just kidding.
no, it was
You're
basically
not using a license.
no. I basically asked a friend of mine had a piece of property and he said whatever, and I said I can help you market that. So I literally marketed it a little bit. And when it was a cash deal only, whatever, and the person stepped forward, I was involved in the negotiation between these 2 people.
Mhm.
And then he went to a real estate attorney and had all the contracts drafted up and did all that stuff. So it was just a whatever, but
Mhm.
it was weird. I mean, I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying I want to do it, but I'm just saying it was only because I was good at buying and selling stuff that they asked me. It's like, hey, you think you could help? And it was something that really, there was no meat to hire anybody for a commission.
Yeah, people do it. It's if it's an easy deal.
No, I'm
or
not
what
saying
have you.
people should go do that.
No,
I was-
I'm not
I was
saying
just
that.
gonna
either.
ask
I'm just saying
I was
they
just
do
going to
it.
ask you. He just didn't admit to a crime, did he?
No,
Because it's on video.
he doesn't have a
so,
license. So if
No.
he had a license, it was doing stuff and something
Yeah.
weird. But no, it's not illegal.
I only asked you that question because I ask a lot of people who are in different professions, not just real estate. I
Mhm.
say, do you worry about, because I'm always fascinated about the impact that AI is going to have on lots of different professions. That's the only reason why I asked you. It wasn't
it's a
like I'm
valid
sitting around
question.
going like, realtors, you guys are screwed, but that's not it at all.
But
I just,
some people believe that, and I don't, because I know, because
Yeah.
I'm again, I'm
because you,
trying
under-
not to,
because
make
you
it a
understand,
commercial.
because you understand the value of what you guys do. And stuff.
yeah, and we already use it. We're already using it. So
How many agents do you have in your office?
7, I
7.
think.
One's your daughter,
Yeah, me and my daughter.
and you guys are the partners. You're the
Yeah, Ron
Ron
Speed,
You know, I
She's
think
Sheila
it's cool. You know, I
Johnson.
think it's cool is how you guys get together. So you and a lot of the other agents in town, you guys do like that little realtor thing. Sometimes you guys
It's a
do
broker
it
tour
a
at
broker,
your
broker
shop,
tour.
yeah.
Yeah, you do it at the coffee shop.
We don't get
Where
any
you-
discounts at
where
the
you
coffee
guys-
shop when we do that either. But we bring all those realtors there. It's a broker tour.
Talk. No, but I think it's cool what you guys do because what you're trying to, the reason for that, correct me if I'm wrong, if I
Mhm.
understand this, is you're trying to share information like, hey, I got this listing, or hey, I got this thing coming up, or do you know anybody looking for, and you're doing that as not to be competitors, so to speak, but you're doing that to try to keep business in Galt.
Correct.
Because I drive around and I see realty signs from people that are like from other cities, and you're like, why would someone sell? It always baffles me. Why would someone go to sell their house in Galt and hire somebody from Sacramento to come down and sell their house in Galt? Like the person has to know the area. You have to know the neighborhood. Do you see a lot of
So
that?
the way that I look at it, and I know Nicole and Parker and all those guys, we do a lot of deals together. And if we don't have some sort of relationship, then how are we going to negotiate a deal,
Right.
right? So we go there, talk about what we have coming up.
It's a small town.
Yeah, what do you got coming up? Maybe we can get something off market or whatever. And if you're not using the local agents, you don't have that. So you use somebody out of town and you're not going to get what we have.
Right.
We literally, if I call one of them up and say, this is what I've got, or
But if you're
I don't want to
moving-
give away all our
but
secrets,
if
we
I
have a
move- but if-
relationship.
if someone from Sacramento is looking to move to Galt
Mhm.
and they hire a local person in Sacramento to find them a house in Galt, I think that's a bad move because I don't think that unless that person from Sacramento knows Galt very well, they used to live here or they have some kind of inside, whatever. I mean, if I was looking to move to Tennessee, no offense, but I wouldn't hire you to find me a house in Tennessee. I'd probably come to you and be like, hey, do you know a good realty agent that you could refer me to in Tennessee that you could whatever? I would want somebody
Yeah, the
that's very
Silers.
knowledgeable in that area to get me a good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I see it all the time. There's a house over in a great, I'm not going to say where it's at, but there's a great neighborhood that has a great house that the whole house, it's a great neighborhood, but the house looks like total garbage. That the lawn's like this tall and there's weeds growing out the crack. I had to get code enforcement. The neighbors were messaging me asking, how can we get code enforcement involved on this? They call the realtor on the sign, doesn't even answer the phone. And it's like some out of town person I've never heard of. The sign's like crooked.
Yeah,
The
'cause they
yard.
don't care.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on there? If that was a local person, it wouldn't look like that, right? So code enforcement had to get involved to go over there, and they contacted the real teacher, and they did get a hold of him and said, "Hey, what are you going to be doing to clean this property up? You can't let the property look like that." And so, because the neighbors are getting upset, they're like, "Hey, we got a great neighborhood, and you got this house. Nobody's going to buy it because look at it."
Yeah, we do all work together really well,
Yeah.
and that's why we meet, and it does help. We collaborate, and it's not like we don't want the outsiders coming in. Like if you go sell a house in the Bay Area, they're a different breed, and sometimes they don't appreciate it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of this. It's not the same way here.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it does help when we all meet. I'm looking for that discount on my coffee though.
Hey, I just want to say,
Yeah. Hey, I have a senior
Discount, really funny. It's
yeah.
so funny.
No, I have
What were you
I have this,
saying, Dan?
it's called the super
I just
senior
wanted to say-
discount. It's for
What?
everybody over the
next
age
time
of
I-
We are
75.
talking
Yeah.
over here.
the next time I'm not here,
Yeah.
I want you to be my
Oh,
fill-in.
I would.
Oh.
love
I
to.
want you to be my fill-in.
Can we curse?
Whatever.
No, that's not professional.
Yeah,
You never know who's watching.
That's true.
you
That's
got
true.
a beeping
Uh-huh.
button.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
do.
fake beeping button. Does it really fake? I mean, does it really beep me out?
No,
It
it,
doesn't click,
no.
turn your mic off. He has to
So if
slide
you're-
the thing down for that.
I'm not
No.
gonna. That really beat me out.
What
Does
was
it beat
that?
me out?
shame
God.
on you.
Oh my-
Yeah.
You're so stupid.
Anyways, but sincerely, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been
I
fun.
appreciate you having me.
I want to thank you for what you do with the Children's Maker Market. It's going to be a great event. So please, everyone who's watching the show, check out the Galt Children's Maker Market on May 2nd. Saturday, it starts at what time again?
9. It's from 9 to 1.
9 to 1 p.m.
You could even stay for the awards and watch the businesses pass out the big checks. I know that the Great
Come
American
spend some
Loaf
money.
podcast threw out some money at us. They're one of our sponsors.
We're
We
a sponsor.
appreciate
You
it.
didn't know that, but we're a
Oh.
sponsor.
Where's your half of the check, Dan?
Yep. We
A
decided.
lot of these that are on this list, I should have brought our list of sponsors.
We never
are
did
out.
finish our sponsor list
Yeah.
either, by the way.
No, I know that. I'm going to
Okay.
get to it. Yeah. So it's because of our great sponsors that we are actually see. The great thing about our podcast people don't remember is the sponsor money that we get from all these local businesses. And by the way, I want to mention these are all local businesses. A lot of them are mom and pop that all sponsor us. And all this money pays for our studio. It pays for us to buy gift cards and things that we give out on our show. We actually, we'll buy some apparel that we end up giving out. We actually sponsor things. Dan and I have talked about ways we can put that money back into the community. So this is what the show's about. We are not doing this to try to make a bunch of money. We are literally using the sponsorship money to be able to put that money back in the community. It's a circle, and that's what it's about. So with that, I want to thank the rest of our sponsors. Spons Cookie Company, obviously, no introduction needed. Ward Engineering, thank you, Matt Ward. Best Western of Galt, Next Generation Barbershop, Mark Jackson. He will be on our show next week. As a matter of fact, Mark Jackson, not only is he a local business owner, but he runs a nonprofit that helps people who are transitioning back into, out of addiction and things like that to get back into jobs and places to live and stuff. And he has been doing a great job. So we are going to have Mark Jackson on the show next week, the 29th, talking about not only what he does, but we're going to be talking about homelessness in Galt. This is a topic we have never really dived in on the show. So it will be, it's going to be a great show. Dan and I, we're going to be talking about all things. It may not, be what everybody wants to hear, some of our opinions and stuff, but we are going to be talking about all the things surrounding homelessness and how it affects our community in general. So be sure you tune in next Wednesday. King Sound Production, Brian King, Laheim, of course. Thank you, Laheim. Thank you, Gail. Mariscos Las Islitas. If you want to go to great Mexican food, Mexican seafood, especially, or great drinks, Mariscos Las Islitas. Janelle, Electric Hair Studio, and we have our newest sponsor coming on soon, Stratton's Pizza, which we don't have their logo up yet, but we're working on it, but they're coming on, and Dry Creek Family Dental. And I want to remind everybody, we are going to do, thank you for reminding me, Kellen. So we're going to be doing there's a mixer. They're doing a mixer for the Children's Maker Market. This is an opportunity for some of the kids to come in the evening next Wednesday night.
The Chambers.
I don't know that is
For sure.
Michaela text me. I think not.
Okay. Not sure if
Um,
we're going to do it. Well, we're trying to put together a mixer for the kids to come.
You mentioned Mark's coming on the show next week, and I got to make a point. He's one of the planning commissioners with me,
Mhm.
and Becky's daughter, Michaela, she's the chair of
Yeah.
the planning commission this
Right.
year, and she's doing a phenomenal job. And it's been a great improvement having her on the planning this year.
She does do a great job.
She does. She does her
do a
homework.
great job. Sean Farmer.
I didn't say she didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
I had somebody
Yeah,
come
she's
to me and
she's
said, "What do you
impressive.
think about
She's very
Michaela?" And I
impressive.
said,
She
"Yeah, I
does a
think
great
she did
job.
good." The person that appointed her actually asked me what I thought about
Yeah.
when they appointed her. So we're not sure about that. But what I can tell you is that if the mixer doesn't go forward next Wednesday night, we are going to be out at the Children's Maker Market, and
She said the kids' schedule. Kids can't get
it's hard for the
in
kids
the
to schedule.
schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but we are going to be out at the Makers Market. We're going to be live streaming on Instagram. That's the goal. We're going to hopefully be out there. I know Killen has to work, so we're going to try to figure out the logistics. But I know Dan and I are going to try to be out there probably around 12:30 in the afternoon, and we're going to be interviewing a lot of the kids for our show. So we'll either stream it through YouTube, or we'll stream it on Facebook, or we'll stream it through our Instagram. We haven't decided what. But we are going to be doing a live event out there interviewing the kids. We're
Make
taking
sure
video.
you are there when the senator's giving his award
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
certificates to all the kids. It's going to be good.
So it'll be cool. It'll be cool. We'll be out there covering the event live. The first time we've ever done that through the podcast on a live
And
event.
Michaela had a great idea too. We're going to do all the number one kids at the very end instead of the different age
Oh.
groups. They're all going to be at the end so that people don't
Cool.
leave
Sure.
and watch the awards. So it's going to be a good one.
Hey, one last shout out, and I forgot to do it last week. Just thought of it right now. I want to give a shout out to a local business. They're not one of our sponsors, but they are a great local business celebrating 45 years in business in Galt.
Wait, who do you think it is? Do you know?
Celebrating 45 years.
Do you know? Do you know who in this town?
I've only been out of school for 33, so I'm trying to think.
And it's not.
Let's see. 45. I was 6 when
Is
they
it
would've started.
Spawns?
If any,
No.
I'm gonna give 20 seconds for anybody in the chat that thinks who the business is, and if you can guess it, I'm gonna kick you down some free stickers. We got some new swag. I know it ain't that big a deal, a few stickers, but I'll shoot you 2 or 3 and you can give them out. Just because
It was started around 1980, 81.
Yep. 45 years in business this year.
Started in 81.
Nobody's put it up there yet. Yeah, I
Wow.
promised I would give a shout out. Sheila's Country Rose.
Oh my
Really?
gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, the florist. The
Wow.
florist.
What?
45 years.
Huh.
Yeah.
I got 3 deliveries from her for my birthday. 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So
They're
you know,
so
three-
pretty.
so
yeah, it was April
three people.
4th.
so our
I
old,
know, I didn't get
our
any
old
from you.
neighbors, Dan and Sheila,
Yeah.
started it,
Creepy.
and then they sold it to one of their employees took it
People
over.
like me.
So
Sorry.
I
yes,
almost pulled
so
the
one of their
shot. I
employees
almost
took
pulled
it
the
over
shot.
and bought it.
Yeah.
So yeah, 45 years continuous
That's
business.
so-
Yeah.
Did you hear that? She got three flowers
On my
sent to her
birthday,
on her
number from
birthday.
you, April 4th. She came one time to my house and 2
You
to
know,
my
people
office.
also give funerals to funerals.
Funerals to flowers.
for
Can't talk
flowers,
very
yeah.
well.
Or,
You
when
need to
pe-
put your teeth back in.
or what about this? You did, but when they gave you the flowers, Becky, did they say, "I hope you get better soon"? And you're like, "I'm not sick." Oh, well, you just haven't looked well lately.
He's
Did
not
they
even
say that to
funny.
you?
You can punch him.
You're not even funny.
Hey, I'm
I've
trying
told
to get-
guests before
I'm
they can
trying to
punch
get-
him.
You can't keep up.
I'm trying to get my get backs. Okay,
You can't do it. But her stuff is beautiful.
I'm just saying.
Seriously.
But hopefully the flowers were for good reason. I
But
do.
my birthday. I
Oh.
said my birthday, April 4th.
So as you get older, they give you more flowers.
I didn't even get free coffee on that day.
Let me ask you this. This is your
Okay,
birthday.
let's hear
So
it.
happy late birthday.
Thank
But
you.
this is a real question. This is the last question before we sign off for the night. Okay. All right.
These things jack up
Can
my
you
hair.
can you fit 85 candles on a birthday cake?
Oh, that was
I mean, I'm just wondering. Good night, everybody.
You can punch
We'll
'em.
see, we'll see
You
you
can
next
punch
week.
'em.
good night, everybody.
Two guys on the mic, Sean and Dan, talking small town life where it all began. God's got charming stories to spare, from the city news to the country air. The great American little town, where the news is small but the pride's profound. Grab a coffee, sit back, it's all going down on the great American little town. Sports scores, local clubs, and a parade. Dan cracks a joke, Sean throws some shade. Local gossip and a heartfelt cheer. It's God's heartbeat right here. The great American little town, where the news is small, but the pride's profound. Grab a drink, sit back, it's all going down on the great American little town. Sean and Dan with the hometown spin. Tune in weekly and you're all in. The great American little town.